tops with no bra.
Have her put like a little knot in the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
Hey.
Get some side titty.
Yeah.
Nice low cut.
That's what's up.
You know about side titty, Travis?
Yeah.
Do you know?
What, you eating pizza in there, hot dog? Hot dog eating pizza. You never seen anything so crazy. It's 10:45, man.
It's breakfast.
You eating a slice of pizza at 10:45? You saying yeah? Was he just saying yes?
Pepperoni and a regular slice.
Pepperoni and a regular at 10:45 for a hot dog.
I respect that.
That's,
Yeah,
you know
but I
why?
mean, if you're up at like 3,
I'll tell you what it is. Hot dog's making money now, and he doesn't have to live by anybody's rules. He'll change up his clothes. He'll eat pizza for breakfast. He'll pay his mom's rent.
He's balling.
He'll sit there and leave, edibles in the fridge. He'll do whatever he wants to do. What were you going to say, Jimbo?
Just because we were joking the other day, and I was talking about the infinitely small quantum foam, and you were like, what? And we were laughing about it.
When did...
I was talking about how time would exist there in a bent state before the Big Bang, and you weren't believing me. I said time did exist in the infinitely small quantum foam.
And I said, you mean before the dawn of time?
Yeah, but
there
I said
was time.
Yeah, but I said there was a time, which is kind of like picture time from left to right. It's kind of like horizontal. Like the left is the past. But then there's a whole thing called it's like
Go back to the article.
what article?
is that when Sam dismissed you and you're like, yeah, ask Steve?
Yeah, as it turns out, Stephen Hawking,
When we were in a singularity, I told you that.
he just came out with a theory that actually does match Jim's
My
what Jim
hypothesis.
said. Jim's hypothesis has been proven correct.
Yeah, it was like imaginary time. But instead of like, horizontal, it was vertical.
Jim is talking right now like when a high school kid reads an index card and then looks up because he's supposed to make eye contact when he gives a speech, and then he has to look back down for the next index card, and he looks up. Like,
No, I'm telling you, look.
Right, like they need something. They need like a 30-second pause between each statement.
No,
so they
I
can
was
make eye
joking.
contact.
Remember the other day I told you that your dick was so small it looked like infinitely small quantum foam?
Your dick is so small, it looks like infinitely small quantum.
Yep.
You say the word small a lot?
Always.
Yeah,
I do. And we
Double
had
up.
time did exist then, but it was kind of in a bent state.
Right.
And then it changed after the old Big Bang. But
What are you smiling for? Like you're doing something fun?
we do have to know that there was a beginning.
Jim loves when he does bits.
Because if there wasn't, that's what we need on this show, more bits. We do know that there was a beginning. Because if there was not a beginning,
right.
like it didn't just always exist.
Sure.
Because everything would be the same. Like,
Right.
for instance, they said every time you looked out, the entire sky would be as bright as a star.
What?
It wouldn't be,
There's a
livable.
process happening.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why we have darkness around it.
But if there's a beginning, that means that was just the beginning. There wasn't something before the beginning.
Of course there was.
What?
There was always something. That's what I'm saying.
Does that mean there'll always be something?
But you can't measure what was there. There's
Will we
no
be
way.
there?
There's no way to measure it. There's no way to see it. At least no way that we know yet.
Look,
It was infinitely small quantum foam, as I've joked about for years.
is there even an infinitely small quantum foam?
Sure.
Which I think is Nike.
Time is bent, as
I
we've
think-
talked about.
I think that's Nike's next release. But is there human existence before and after? Like, do I get to survive forever?
No, this is before the Big Bang.
Oh.
And you can't measure what was happening there because it was like imaginary time. It was in a bent state, as I've said many times.
Do you think that there'll be our some semblance of our existence gets to live forever?
No, I don't know about that. I'm just talking about before the Big Bang.
Fuck, hot
Approximately
dog, this is all we got.
15 billion years ago.
Oh.
He's saying that there was an infinitely small quantum foam.
Did you just read like 3 sentences and you just repeat them over and over again?
No. I've theorized about this. I'm trying to explain it in a way that you can understand.
So is it actually a foam, the way we know foam, like at a foam party?
Well, it was a singularity. I mean, back then, everything was a singularity and time was in a bent state.
In foam?
In foam, yeah. A singularity in
Like
time.
what kind of foam?
Quantum foam.
Oh,
Infinitely
I see.
small.
I see.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you have 9 words that you just have to kind of rearrange over and over again.
That's not true at all.
Oh, I see.
That's not true at all.
I see.
But if there was no beginning, we would obviously, the night sky would be lit up.
No, I got it the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but that's why, of course, there
Well,
was...
real time's a horizontal line. Imaginary time would be vertical.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, okay.
But what does the foam look like? I'm saying, is
It's
it
infinitesimally small, and it literally is like singularity.
That doesn't make sense.
Sure does.
It's very small and looks like singularity.
It was down to the smallest point anything could ever be, and it had like almost endless density, which is crazy to think.
And that was just everything. Endless density.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a neutron star.
Can you name your next special? Quantum foam?
Quantum foam.
Well, yeah, okay.
No, it sounds like the name of a new craft beer, but it's not. It's you got to dive down. There's a whole rabbit hole of quantum mechanics. It's like a branch of physics.
It's not a rabbit hole if you read half an article.
No, I'm just saying, like, light and matter behave on atomic scales. That's what this kind of addresses. It's like a bizarre realm. And like I've always said, matter...
Stop looking at the screen.
I'm talking to you. Matter can exist in two places at once, like electrons.
Hey,
they kind of act like... I am looking at you. They act like particles and waves.
He's doing the teenager giving a speech thing again.
No, look,
it's high school speech, Jimmy.
Here's what it is. Like, Schrodinger's cat can be alive and dead at the same time. Or that's what quantum theorists will tell us.
And that's when he became our first... president.
Go back to the other one. I'm trying to look at the picture. No, look. It's a world. It's a lot different than Einstein's world, obviously. I mean, the successful theory of general relativity. Yeah, we all got that. Yeah. Energy equals mass, and mass warps space-time. We heard you, Albert.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
Stephen Hawking thinks he's...
But the point is, you were right.
Yeah, well, I said that. Everybody laughed. Quantum foam, what do you know? I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Do you want to thank Albert, who's on line one?
Oh, hi, Albert, yes. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Here's the problem, Albert. My only issue is you made us tank tops, and my biceps are infinitesimally small.
I can't even say it right.
What is the word?
Infinitesimally.
My biceps are infinitesimally small, and they won't look as good as you think they might in this tank top.
Where's an infinitesimal?
Well, like, I'm not sure if you saw me with Jim at the show. I went out there I drove from Phoenix to Utah to see him twice. I saw him twice. Once in Tucson and once in Utah, so.
Thank you.
I was like, I have to make you guys something. But, it's going to prepare you to get in that tank top shape. It's summer season coming up.
I'm going to walk around the house and just get Jess all excited.
Sam, just put it on now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just see what it looks like. Just try it on.
No, not over.
But I was super stoked. Jim, you killed it out there in Utah. You were literally, it was worth the drive. It was a 10-hour drive in fucking snow, but it was worth it to see you, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks a lot, man. That was a really, really good club, and I appreciate you doing it.
And where was that, in Utah or in Canada?
Salt Lake City.
So did you?
It was Utah. It was the most Mormon town I've ever been to.
So
completely weird.
You had to deal with the state representatives rapping.
Yeah, I tagged you in it because I was trying to talk to Craig Shankles because it was a home of the hip hop. I tagged you guys, and when I drove out there, everything was about hip hop over there. It was like ridiculous. I was like, I want to get Craig Shankles' take on the Fresh Prince Bill rap.
Could you get it?
Oh well, we gotta let you go. Albert, we gotta let you go. We got 1 minute left in the show. Sorry, buddy.
Hey, you're fine, man.
Thanks a lot, Albert. Yeah, I didn't realize we had that few times. Oh, Sam put the tank top on over his fucking thing.
Yeah, over the tank top over the t-shirt. Does that look good?
Yeah, looks good.
Thanks, man.
So listen, thank you to Michael K. Williams. Happen Leonard comes on tomorrow night on Sundance.
Just chilling.
10 o'clock.
Ready to play some b-ball?
And I guess tomorrow we have Lisa Ann, and we're hoping to get Roger Stone.
Oh, Lisa Ann's coming in. I'm wearing this. Show off a little bit. Show off the bod.
It's a noose.
Troy, is this a good look?
No.
Oh, shit.
I think it's pretty cool.
Well,
take the shirt off underneath.
Take the shirt off. You don't think tank top with a t-shirt under it is a good look?
I do. You look great.
Thank you, Jim. I'll stick with Jim. Jim knows fashion.
Yeah, I absolutely do. All right, listen.
You stupid fucking cunt.
Who is that for? Troy, I guess.
Joe Paterno said it.
So one time I landed, I think I told this story. I fucking landed, had a great flight, radio calls were good and everything, and I got out, and I got in my car, and I didn't even get out of the parking lot, and this fucking jerk-off on the other side of the street, this guy probably like 50 years old on a scooter, came pulling out, and he went too fast and didn't lean enough, and his centrifugal force took him, and he hit the medium strip, he high-sided, launched him and the fucking scooter onto my side, it was like 2 lanes on my side, fucking rolled like a log and slid on his face for the last 30 fucking feet, God. Right? So fortunately, there wasn't a bunch of cars coming, so I stopped, and I was the first guy to get to him. and he was laying on his back like not even conscious, just going like spitting teeth out.
Oh, he got fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he was all right. I mean, like road rash and shit. I flew back from San Francisco with Joe Bartnick, and we were in a car, an Uber on the way home, and this fucking guy in the left lane, nobody near him, just hit the medium strip and started spinning. Looked like an episode of Chips from way back in the day, and then spun across 4 lanes. Everybody slowed down. He hit it was like that guy was on his phone. No way. He just fucking drove into, like he just was driving and just sort of drifted, and Bartnick was going, whoa, 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 and right as I looked up, I just saw this guy spinning like a top across 4 fucking lanes. And, yeah, but since I started flying, when I get on the highway, I feel like I'm flying in formation. It's like I'm in the fucking...
The Blue Angels?
Yeah, the misfit Blue Angels, I was going to say, except nobody's talking to anybody and nobody knows what anybody's going to do. People passing you on the right doing like 90. It like really freaks me out.
Well, you look at the cars are now going to be able to communicate with each other. Now they're all going to have these, when they have the self-driving cars, every car will know what the other one's going to do. It's probably going to
Please tell me how that's going to work, considering the amount of times my laptop crashes. And so now we're all doing 80, and there's a glitch in the system. The Houston, we have a problem moment. Okay, and you're napping, going, oh, it's going to be great. I got a gig up in Albany. I'm going to sleep the whole fucking way. You know?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
That's a good point.
There won't be any more like...
Go over Niagara Falls fucking 6 hours later because you didn't set your alarm.
There's no more fender benders. It'll just be like colossal, explosive death accidents.
And this is what's hilarious about insurance companies. Somehow it'll be your fault.
Of course.
Because I'm wondering, how does insurance work at that point where if you know, in a perfect world, all of those cars work, there should be no accidents. So then, like, your coverage should be a joke. It should be like $40 a year. Somehow it'll still be the same amount of money. And if that car gets into an accident, your rates are going to go up. You can't sue the car company. I bet they're going to make you sign something like, you know, when they falsely imprison somebody?
Sure.
And then they go, all right, well, you got to sign this thing that you can't sue the state. That's their new thing, and then we'll let you out, even though we both know you're completely fucking innocent. I feel like there's going to be some of that legal work.
Isn't that disgusting? Like, if you sign a fucking prenup...
Who's this fucking teen idol from the boy band you got over here?
That's exactly who he is. Yeah. He says, I can't...
Is this one of the Osmonds?
Mark Zuckerberg is a target for people to go after and hack and try to get information. So he knows that people are probably going to be actively trying to hack his...
But if Zucky...
Like people who really know what they're doing, looking directly for his information.
Definitely. But if Zucky can't protect himself, what hope do any of us have? Zucky is the one person who should have the technology to block that stuff.
Maybe he does, and maybe he's just literally a step ahead and going like, fuck it, I don't think I'm exempt from being hacked.
So you would consider getting... one of those.
No, the Alexa does kind of, you know, when you think about it like we're talking about, it does kind of, yeah, it probably is on all the time, or at least more than I would want it to be.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, do I think they're doing anything with it? I don't know. But for the advertising, I don't like them giving my information for advertisers.
By the way, like I really think that the world that we live in now is people are collecting information just because it's valuable and to have it. Some of it's for advertising, some of it's whatever. I don't think we know yet. I don't think the people collecting all the information really know yet what they're going to do with all the information. But it's like this slippery slope. It's only a matter of time before, you know, you hear the crime being plotted through Alexa. And then before, like, you know, we get into Minority Report territory.
Yeah, but eventually what's going to happen is, like I said, when they can eventually take your, maybe not your DNA, but once they are able to reproduce all body parts, and like Ray Kurzweil said, we're all attached to a computer.
Like, I'm talking about right now.
No, but I'm saying not too far in the future. You're saying, what will they do with the information?
Jimmy,
what will they do with the information? If everything you've ever said is somehow recordable, or thought is somehow recordable, they'll be able to create a perfect copy of you.
We're not at our thoughts being recorded. We're at
not
speakers
yet,
being put in our houses right now.
But that's the first step to that. We're not that far away from that. Everyone's talking about privacy going away. You know what's going to remove privacy? In a few years when everybody has drones that are the size of insects. That's not crazy to think that people are going to have that. We're all going to have access to these drones maybe in 20 years when they're tiny and then you just can't see them. It's going to be like an ant in your house and you can record and watch what anybody is saying.
No, I guess.
You guys think it's crazy, but
No, I don't think it's crazy. I just think that we go from like what's happening right now to like.
Well, you're saying you don't know
just
why they're saving
theories.
information.
No, I'm saying that
They don't know what they're going to do with it. So I'm saying in a few years, when they have capability to do this, this, and this, then they'll have everything on you. I don't know if even it's in a conscious decision or if they're just. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if it's just let's just save it, not knowing what they'll do with it.
But do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I understand why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But if it's something that every single person is going to be subjected to, is it just a part of our evolution where we're all just connected?
So then
somehow?
how can you be against the cloud?
Because I'm not at a point where I'm comfortable with that yet.
Right.
I'm talking about in evolution, is it just one of those things where we're all going to be interconnected in every way, and then any taboo or any crazy thought is removed and we learn how to not have these
That's just wait till you're microchipped.
What's that? but you know what I mean? Like, what's that? I'm not comfortable with that right now, of course.
Are you comfortable getting microchipped?
No, of course not. That's
what do
a
you mean,
terrible idea.
Microchips for what?
Well, they'll tell you whatever for anything.
No, but what would it be for?
Well, they would say at first it'll be so like
Your personal information.
or like kids won't get lost anymore.
Right.
That is something to be said for that.
Or the elderly won't get lost anymore.
Right? Yeah, Uncle June won't be walking around Brooklyn looking for.
But they're going to use that
looking for Johnny Soprano.
All right, if you had you have a son, would you be willing to have something put in him that was simply a pinging or tracking
Nope.
device?
Even
if you knew you could have it removed after a certain age?
Nope. No, I would not do it. 100% no.
And I'm sure at some point over time it's going to become mandatory.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
What happens if you move away from a cashless society? And that's the only
now we're
going
to.
Yeah, I know, but this is all like.
I mean, you're looking. I'm just saying long term.
But those are all a couple steps ahead. Those are not crazy. Those are not crazy leaps to take. And the thing with the Black Mirror has a really interesting episode. Have you seen the series?
Rob just told me about this
season.
Yeah, with the kid who's like the
I haven't
mother.
seen this season yet.
It's just a thing that helps you monitor your kid. And you look at it, and you're like, yeah, that could possibly happen 20 to 40 years from now. Like, it's not that crazy.
I mean, we're already kind of doing it with phones.
Yeah.
Every parent has
the nanny cam thing?
has location tracking on their kid's phone.
Alexa, order Monster Rain by Jim Norton. Thank you for the suggestion, Chuck in Boston. Yeah, the tracking on the phone. And look, but again, if it prevents, like when you hear about people whose kids get kidnapped or just lost, or they run away, it's like, what's worse as a parent than your kid going away? If there's a way for you to at least find out where they are.
Yeah, but if you know that there are far bigger ramifications here, like that's not, at the end of the day, that's not what that's going to be for. Like we've already, we see what happens with technology right now. So like that's the first thing if they were like, we do have this technology. Because it's not like it's not going to be mandatory. It's going to be encouraged to the point, like phones aren't mandatory.
No.
But you have to have a phone. You know what I mean? So it'll be like that. Like, you'd be crazy to not have it done.
But eventually it may be mandatory. Maybe not in our lifetimes.
I don't think so. I think it'll be because then, now you're just talking about it literally being like, Big Brother's watching you, we have to watch you, as opposed to, like, they don't have to enforce it if we'll do it ourselves.
No, but once everybody is tied into that grid where we know what everybody is thinking and we know what everybody is planning on doing and we're all in it, then if you're off of that, you're planning things and thinking things that other people are not able to monitor. It very well may be mandatory someday. Not in our lifetimes, but it may be something where when it becomes a part of the way people live, yeah.
I bet you we're going to see it in our lifetime.
We might. How about with this? Would you allow yourself to be implanted with something or swallow some type of those computers that Michio Kaku talks about that are going to monitor your blood and to test you for cancer?
Nanotechnology.
Nanotechnology. All these things that go around your body and will keep you alive for 150 years because you're not going to get cancer. You're not going to get sick because these things are constantly in you checking.
I would not. Would you?
I would in a second. Sure.
Yeah, no, I would not.
Yeah, I mean, they can do internal surgery with those things. So if you have something going on in your heart, they can send one of those little nanobots in, and it can fix whatever it is.
Yeah, and plus detecting it. Yeah, I would do that in a second.
Well, I would do nanosurgery.
Or even nanotechnology that just is checking me. Like, what's it going to do? What's it going to do that's bad?
I wouldn't have a monitor in me. No.
Oh, I would like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously it's going to be – it's not like it's going to be private.
Well, it depends on what it's monitoring. If it's monitoring your whatever the cells for cancer count is. I don't care if my doctor knows that, or if it's monitoring blood pressure.
The company would also have access to it. The company that makes it.
Well, yeah, they could have access to it.
Would maintain access to it. And then they would also be able to figure out everywhere you go and everywhere you've been and what you're doing. There would be far more to it than just like, oh, well, this will just help people.
I will take the risk of that if it can tell me when I'm having cancer. I'll take the risk that they're going to know where, because they already know anyway. Everywhere there's a camera, you have your phone with you all the time. So it's like, I carry this doesn't stop me from carrying the phone, so why would it stop me from putting something in me that could tell them if I have
Because
cancer?
if at some point you're like, oh, you know what? This phone isn't good.
I know, but that's not realistic.
You just leave it at home.
You could, but
what do you mean not realistic?
No one does that. No. When's the last time you left your phone home on purpose? None of us do that.
But it's still free will.
It's always free will.
Not if it's implanted in you.
Well, you're still choosing to do that as a way of searching your body.
But then it's in you.
Well, yeah.
So then there's the free will's now gone.
Okay, well then you
put it in you though.
Right,
you
because you made the choice once.
For the health reason. I'm not worried about what they're going to do with that information if I know that they're looking for, if it's one of those things that's going to keep you alive longer.
Yeah, I mean,
who cares where I go?
I don't need to be kept alive longer.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people agree with that. Well, of course you'd want to be kept alive longer. If there's a chance to make our life 150 years and just to check us for all these things, that's not crazy. They're going to use that on people going to Mars. That's why they're working on it. Because there's no way to stop you. If you have cancer on a Mars mission, there's nothing they can do if you're 2 years into a trip.
It's a double-edged sword, though, because they're gonna monitor your thoughts. They might be even implanting your thoughts, telling you what to think.
All that stuff, yes. You have to, there's a way, but there'll be a counterbalance to that, too. Like, every time there's something that we think, oh, my God, there'll be something else that comes along to counterbalance it. I'm not saying there's not risks with it, but no one is looking at the rewards. We're only looking at the idea of being tracked. Like, there are at times rewards to it that make it, they might do something bad. That's like saying you shouldn't have jails because innocent people go there. Like,
no, because you're doing it to yourself.
Meaning that,
like, you shouldn't go to jail if you're innocent.
No matter how good something is. There are going to be abuses of it, bad sides of it, parts of it that are dangerous. So you have to outweigh, is the good part of it more important than the shitty part of it?
It's unpreventable, though. Like, we're not going to stop artificial intelligence, and that's going to completely just probably wipe out the human race.
We better get on board with that shit. We better get on board with it.
We are. I mean, it's here.
It's already done.
I mean, it's set in motion, and everybody is saying the dangers of what this is going to be, and it doesn't stop us.
It's pretty clear. Like, I mean, even basic thinking is just like, well, doesn't this lead to this, lead to this? And they're like, well, yeah, but
we can't see.
Look how cool it is. Look, the robot talks back.
You can't stop people from doing it.
No, because because the guy wants to invent it, right? The guy, whoever is the guy to take it a step further, wants to be the guy that took it a step further, not realizing that's it. But yeah, of course.
This is something, Brandon. This is actually something that will be a danger and will have to be addressed. Yes, Brandon.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Sam. How are you guys?
Hi, Brandon.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Oh, hi, Brandon.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw it. It was about a year ago when autonomous vehicles, when it was really picking up, when Google was like, yeah, these things are going to be on the road in the next, 3 months or whatever. They did this thing where they showed that the vehicles themselves could be hacked. And so they were driving in the car, and then they had somebody like 200 or 300 yards away, and they were controlling it. They hacked into the system and then controlled it. They were like, and this could happen anytime, because basically the information all goes somewhere. So if you get into the database, like Target with all their credit card information, everything is electronic. So if you have nanotechnology within you that can perform these instant surgeries, if you have a heart problem, it can go in and fix it. Well, conversely, it can also, you can hack that and say, okay, well, let's do the opposite of that and kill this person. So it could kind of work both ways, I guess.
Sure. I mean, it's like anything else. Thanks, Brandon. Or Braden, sorry. It's like anything else. Like when I first heard of electronic banking, paying your bills online, you're like, what the fuck? My bank information's out there. They can go on and pay. There's always the risk of being hacked.
I just love that in all of our lifetime, there was this thing of like, no, you can't go shopping online. Are you fucking crazy to put your address on the internet? Like, you remember that when
yes,
the first friend you had that put his or her address on the internet, you were like, you're crazy.
I mean, I remember buying stuff on eBay.
Right.
And just sending a money order and hoping my item arrived.
Right. There was no.
I was like, all right, well, I sent the guy money. I mean, there's still people who go to the cable company store and pay.
Those people are fucking idiots.
Yeah. What are you going to tell me next? Like a guy who goes to like the Verizon store after work to pay his phone bill?
Who the fuck would do that?
Who would do that?
Falcone. He doesn't like to pay his bills online.
Here's why people are so fucking stupid.
He writes checks and he goes to the Cablevision building.
Because the bank is all computerized. Yeah. So if they hack the bank, they have your money. What do you think? Your money's not computerized?
Your money's already on the computer.
It's already there.
Right.
Do you know how they have a record that you paid? They put it in the bank and they put it in their computer.
That's it. It's not like they have your cash in a safety deposit box. You don't think
they just put it in their big wallet?
No.
By the way, another great point by Scott. This is a good point. Scott, yes.
Hey, Jay, hey, Sam. We have nuclear bombs hooked up to computers right now, and people aren't hacking them and sending them off to North Korea. You know what I mean? So we're going to have the counterbalance of the advanced technology to help us defend hackers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I would think that we're going to have the good with the bad as we do with everything, I guess.
Well, if you take the good and you take the bad, you can take them both, and there you'll have
Troy.
That's right.
Because we're the bad and good.
The facts of life is what I was referring to.
No.
The facts of life.
Thank you very much,
there
Scott.
You go.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that's a good point, too. There are things that are already extremely dangerous that are not. Like your planes. I don't know if they're online or not, but people aren't bringing down planes with the computer technology.
Well, you'd have to think all that control center shit that monitors where the airplanes are going, that's all online. It's got to be, right?
None of that stuff's been hacked. Or maybe if it's been hacked, it's not. There's probably so many security walls to get through. Maybe the same thing would be true in any of the technology we have in us.
I guess we all think that because Target got hacked, they'll be able to hack the shit that's monitoring for cancer, which is probably...
they hacked the DNC. Who would ever think that would happen?
Yeah, or the Pentagon. These things are hackable. Mm-hmm. One thing that's scary, though, is that they're talking about when they have quantum computers, how that will meet, like the encryption. I don't know how the encryption works. I've seen something and I totally forgot how it works. I just know that it's really hard to hack.
It's super good.
It's super good.
Okay.
But they said a quantum computer will be able to figure out the encryption very quickly. So that's where a lot of they're going to have to give information on levels. And I've watched something on it, and obviously remember none of it. That's the beginning, middle, and end of my knowledge.
That makes sense. As encryption technology goes up, so will technology. So you'll find computers that can bust through.
They said quantum computers, once they're everyone has one.
I got to get a quantum computer and then mine for bitcoins with it.
You should do that.
I get so many coins.
I know someone who's mining right now.
Who?
I don't know if he wants his name.
Do we know him?
Yep.
Is it Bobo?
Yep.
And an unfortunate mishap.
I know someone who might have dedicated an entire room because it gets so hot from the computers.
Because they have multiple computers running and mining?
Yeah.
How do we know him?
I mean,
have we worked with this person?
Yes.
Is it a he?
Yes.
Is it Fan?
No.
Fan.
But it shares some of the letters of Fan's name. Oh, actually, all of them.
Yep. Okay, I know who it is.
Oh my God, is he really?
He's got a room for it?
Yes.
Is it the room that he used to do Compound from? Is it Anthony?
Hey, maybe.
Oh my God, that maniac!
He was doing it years ago.
Was he?
Yeah, and he had like 2 bitcoins or something that he had mined, and then he lost his wallet.
Oh. His Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah.
How do you lose your wallet?
I don't.
It's like losing your marbles.
Oh, like the guy in Hook.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Losing your what?
It's like losing your marbles.
You stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah, he tweeted about that like 2 months ago that he had over 2 Bitcoin that he had mined, because he was mining like years ago.
Right.
I still don't know what that is. It's been explained to me by this. Her name is Caitlin. She's a comedian. She used to write a bit on a blog or something on Bitcoin. Like, she really understands it. And we walked one night and she was explaining everything about it. And by the time I was home, I forgot everything except the words Bitcoin.
That's why I love talking about technology with you, because you always talk to these fascinating people or watch these fascinating documentaries. And you're like big picture guy.
Yeah, but I don't know the little. I obviously don't understand a lot of the technology.
Nuance.
But I'm right about a lot of the things that I think are going to happen. They're not crazy. When I'm talking about privacy going away because of I've talked for years about everybody's eventually going to have everything we do is going to be monitored. Now Google Glasses come out, or the fucking the micro drones and things like that. We're all going to have access to them.
What about that movie Her?
I didn't see it. Oh, wait, he falls in love with Alexa?
Yeah.
But we're all going to have access to those.
But he's got an Alexa in his ear.
Oh, okay.
Plus, but nobody uses Google Glasses.
No,
not at this point. No,
the glasses thing is not going to happen.
Once it becomes contact lenses, or once it becomes, of course,
they've already tried the glasses thing. It didn't work for Snapchat. Didn't work for Google.
It doesn't matter. Not yet. The technology's not there to make it completely convenient where you don't have to put anything on. Eventually, of course, it's going to happen.
And it's not cool yet. We'll just wait till people start endorsing something that's cool.
And there's too many privacy concerns. Like, too many people, guys are getting punched wearing them because people think you're putting people's lives up online.
So you don't mean literal glasses?
No, but a way for that to happen.
Right.
But if you have...
Because they try... I mean, it's not a matter of endorsements. They got endorsements for Snapchat. Yeah,
but it's not cool yet.
That's the point. It's not going to be cool because
those Snapchat glasses were cool.
And you have to put them on.
That's right. Okay, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
If you have an insect-sized drone,
right,
or something that you could send into somebody's house, you imagine that there's a girl you like, or there's a guy, or you want to know, hey, is my wife cheating on me? Is my husband cheating on me? And you fucking hit this little drone that could land on the ceiling fan and just sit there. I mean, come on. Once that shit starts happening. Right. Once it starts being used for police work, and then people have access to it,
or if there's a little earbud you could put in your ear that has a camera on it. Right, so you could see, it won't be, I'm just saying,
when you won't even have to be there.
Right, I'm just saying you won't, there will never come a time where we're going to put on glasses with a camera on them. Like, physical glasses.
No, I don't think so either. I think that's too clunky.
Right.
Do you know how people have, GoPros and they get caught leaving them in someone's house and videotaping, or there's all these little secret cameras you can hook up in your place, security cameras, nanny cams.
What's her name? Erin Andrews, right? Didn't the hotel owner?
I think some guy did it through the people,
right?
Yeah, he was a real scumbag.
Yeah,
he's in jail too.
Good.
But once we have access to that, and you can just videotape what somebody's doing, and you don't have to be there, it's scary. That to me scares me, and that's not the government. That's each other.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean about stuff like this. Number one, it's not going to be the government. It's going to be private companies, because they've got the technology for it and they can benefit off of it.
Yeah.
And number two, we're going to find that none of this stuff is mandatory because we're all going to do it anyway. Why make it mandatory if everybody's doing it? That way everybody feels like they're making this choice. I'm not saying that everybody's not going to be doing it. I'm just saying there won't be some edict from the government coming down going, everybody has to have this, because that's a red flag.
Why make it mandatory for everybody to carry around a location tracking device?
When we're doing it anyway.
So cool.
I think eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
If it becomes to implants, though.
Johnny Ive is going to be sitting there going this implant is the most gorgeous implant that we've ever had here. And people are going to be like, I got to have it. I got to get it.
Once they can monitor thoughts, then I think implants will be mandatory. I think, again, we won't see it in our lives.
People will do it. They'll just do it.
They will.
They won't even need to make it mandatory.
It'll happen. It'll be a part of your, when you're born, it'll be something that you just get.
Oprah will come out and be like,
right.
this is amazing. And everybody's like, oh, we got to go do it.
Right. And you'll be made to look like a bad parent if you don't do it.
But you imagine a Twitter of thoughts when you're able to just follow certain people's thoughts if you want to. I mean...
And you have to sit there. Again, you go back to that Black Mirror. It's like when did you see the one from season 3 when Bryce Dallas Howard?
Amazing.
Right. It's like your behavior is modified completely everywhere you go because people can just give you a rating.
A like or a dislike or a 4-star person.
Right.
But then she's trying to rent a place and they're like, well, we only rent to 4-star people or people with 4 stars.
4.25 and you're 4.21.
And she has to go up and try to get her likes up in life. It's fucking... That guy was Charlie Booker, his name is?
Yeah.
The guy who writes that?
Yeah.
He is really a brilliant guy. A brilliant guy.
Have you seen all of them?
I'm on this final season now and I've seen, I think, 4 to 6, whatever it is. I've seen almost all of them. I make myself watch slowly because I love them so much.
But you saw the first couple seasons.
Oh, yeah.
That one where, and that goes, I was watching, because I got caught up with him over the weekend, and it made me think of the conversation that we had in here, when you were like, when you know you've done something wrong, but you can make the other person feel crazy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like you were talking about, like, you know that she's caught you, but it's just an instinct.
Yeah.
And you can talk your way out of it.
Yeah.
And she's right, but now she feels nuts.
She can't win the argument, but we both know she's right. Yeah.
It was like that episode when everybody had the thing in their eyes and they were recording everything. And, like, the guy, this was like season 1 or 2, and the guy was like, knew that his girlfriend or his wife had something going on with the guy.
It was getting their memories.
Yeah.
Yes, that was another.
And in the end of the episode, you're like, he wasn't crazy.
He wasn't crazy. It was a thing where you could save and read memories and forward through them and scroll through them.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of those things that that'll come once we figure out how to capture them.
But, like, all that stuff, you can see where I think we're in of the same mindset that, like, none of that stuff felt like it would be mandatory. It was just stuff that everybody was like, yeah, you got to do this. Right?
I don't know. I don't remember the tone of it, to be honest. I don't remember if it felt like that or not.
It's been a while ago.
Yeah.
We love feeling we're so progressive, though. So anything progressive like that, you want to be a part of.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to be thinking old school.
Exactly. Hey, it's just where things are going.
Or they'll make it so uncomfortable for you not to have it that you'll get it. Like, so much of your life will be dependent on having it.
Yeah. It's
like
one of those things where, like, knowledge, right? That, like, people have this knowledge. And if you don't have the technology, you won't have the knowledge. So you've now made yourself an idiot.
Yeah, but the thing with knowledge, once we're able to store that stuff in your brain, like, you won't have to read books. They'll just be uploaded into your psyche immediately.
Unless you're the one person who doesn't have it implanted, and then it's like, oh, nobody should talk to the stupid person.
Yeah, who's gonna print a book for that jizz bucket?
Exactly.
Fucking idiot. It's fun to watch where it's gonna go. Somebody who likes that. Bill in Los Angeles.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, Sam, you said exactly what I was going to say. You know, Black Mirror's hit on a lot of things. That nosedive episode made me kill my Twitter, kill my Instagram, and really scale back my Facebook. Man, it freaked the shit out of me.
Which was the nosedive one?
Say, man, you guys said it.
Which one was that? Was that the Bryce Dallas Howard one?
Yeah, the one where it's all looking at stars and ratings and... the cookie episode where they steal your personality.
Oh my God, that was the best one. That's the best one. That was the Christmas special, I think. That was the one with John Hamm in it.
Did I see that one?
It was the last on Netflix. It's listed as the last episode of season 2, but it's like an hour and change. It's a little longer than the rest of them. It's John Hamm and the other guy.
Is that the guy in the isolated house? Yeah, amazing,
right? And, like, that was my favorite episode because, like, halfway through you get this thing of information. And you're like, oh, I guess they're just telling multiple stories, and then everything ties together at the end.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you very much, Bill.
I gotta watch this show.
It's great.
Have you never seen it, Travis?
No.
Do you like Twilight?
Why did I just ask you like that? Have you never seen it, Travis?
Travis, have you never seen it?
It's on my list.
It's so great. People always talk about the pig fucking one. Like, some loved it, some hated it.
Oh, I'm in.
It's not the
Pig fucking one is a weird one to start with.
I have to see that again because when I first saw it, I was like, that's okay.
Can we fuck?
I liked it, but it's just like, I get where it doesn't. It's not as, like, mind-blowing as some of the other ones. Although I didn't like the ending of the Bryce Dallas Howard episode.
Don't tell me. I have to see it again.
Okay.
I saw a time. I watched those time traveler videos, and they all say that in 20
time traveler videos.
There's a bunch of time traveler videos. They always say about
people on YouTube going like, "Hey,
I'm a time traveler." It's apex.com. They're fucking and they all say in 2028 time travel will be revealed to us, and that we've known about it since 2003. But a lot of them say that if you go into the way future, like 6,000. AD, that we upload our conscious, robots and humans become one, and we can't.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
6,000. That's not going to take that long.
6,000?
They said like 6,000.
Why don't they stop?
It's not going to take 3,500 years.
Look what the iPhone has done in a few years from where it was. The technology gets so much faster and cheaper and smaller. Ray Kurzweil talks about singularity. 6,000? They out of their minds?
That's what these time travelers say,
They're fucking morons. In 6,000...
We'll be there by 2080.
We will literally be able to upload ourselves, but you'll be able to probably go through wormholes and wind up at other places in the galaxy. Like, they can stop.
Well, so humanity as we know it in 6,000 is not going to exist in the form that it's in.
Right? Okay, so my question to you, though, if you believe that, which I believe too, like we're going to get through wormholes and be able to time travel, so then that means that there's, like, if this already happened, then there's time travelers here among us, and, you know, right?
I don't know if there's going to be time travel. There may or may not be. I don't know.
Unless, like, time travel, unless time travel doesn't happen until many, many years into the future, like, say, 6,000, and 6,000 is so different, they're going, why would anybody want to go back to the 2000s?
That's true.
You know, maybe they're just going, that they are so backwards back there, they won't even believe. If we went back there, there would be a chain reaction in the space-time continuum. We can't do it.
I mean, even like things like, I heard Elon Musk just got approval for that hyperloop thing, and it's like that, like DC to Washington DC to New York in 15 minutes. Like,
wow, is it really 15 minutes?
That's what they said.
Is it a flight or a train?
It's like a hyperloop train.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
a different deal.
It's like a bank vault
but
thing.
Yeah, you could go like New York to LA in an hour. That would just change. Like, you can go New York.
But it's on the ground.
It's on the ground.
It's not in the sky.
It's not in the sky.
Yeah.
So it's like, if that happens, like in the next 30 years, like, then that already changes travel so much, and it's like, what then in another 100 years? It's just going to be.
Yeah, you're going
like you can't even imagine.
Black holes are coming. You're being like, big deal. I get to LA in an hour.
Doesn't matter.
Like, who cares about a black hole?
All this stuff depresses me because I know I'm going to be dead for it.
A lot of it you will be.
Yeah.
I'll see more of it than you will.
Our kids will see it.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
I got more than a couple of years.
A couple of years more than me? No, I'm healthier than you.
You are healthier than... Well, not in every way.
That's true.
What's your blood pressure?
I don't know about blood pressure, but I'm still not convinced that Jim at some point won't get AIDS and die. So
no, he beat AIDS. It's not going to get
beat AIDS. He said.
Well, it's just like AIDS doesn't even count anymore. I feel
that's
like
true.
It's like
no, you're right. You're right. No, that's a great point.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking AIDS or whooping cough. AIDS is finished.
That's a great point.
I got my last test. It was the worst, scariest thing I've ever done, and I'm good.
And you got it.
But you might
no STDs.
No STDs. No.
Beautiful.
The gas that comes out of your body does not tell me that you're healthy.
Well, that's just my stomach.
You might fart yourself to death.
Doesn't mean I have AIDS.
No, it might be something else.
They say you gotta have good colon health and good blood pressure to live a long life.
Jim's colon is on a pretty good cycle.
When you take shit, do your shits look like, are they S-shaped? They gotta be S-shaped. That's how you know you have a healthy colon. You gotta have an S-shaped or like a curvy shit. That's the
It depends. Sometimes it literally looks like fucking a bowl of Cocoa Puffs. Other times it's really long and smooth.
That's a good shit. That's a fiber, healthy colon. The people with the healthiest colons live the longest lives.
Right.
Yeah.
They say that's a S for Sam. That's what I was always told.
Yeah, I guess if you want a nice healthy colon, take good dumps.
Yeah, take a nice shit.
Dr. Kaku, Dr. Michio Kaku. You know this guy, Dr. Kaku?
Dr. Kaku. No.
He's done a whole bunch of TV shows and stuff. He spoke in front of a large gathering of people who he does not believe. Did you just a little gas come out?
Of me?
Yeah.
No.
Do you believe him, Chris? Oh, did you hear
I
that?
thought I heard something.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Oh.
Was that you or?
No, it wasn't
I don't think
me.
it was Anthony.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Jim.
Time travel?
Here's my only issue. All of a sudden, when I started to ask about it, Jim started to look cheeky in his face. And a lot of times when Jim is fibbing, he can't help himself, but he starts to look cheeky.
Cheeky.
Like, do you see his face?
I'm happy.
He starts to smile, his little smile lines show.
I have dimples.
Yeah, his little dimples show, his cheekbones go up.
Everyone says my smile lights up a room.
But you know what that means?
What?
I hope it doesn't light up a room. It's going to be an explosion with all that gas that just came out of your bowels.
It wasn't me. What are you saying?
He's fibbing, Chris.
Oh.
But Michio Kaku, he was talking and he was telling the people that we should not be worried about artificial intelligence.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Anthony.
Some people are afraid of this.
My man.
They think that one day the robots may take over. Well, that's always a possibility. But for the next period of time, for decades to come, artificial intelligence is going to create jobs, industries, new opportunities, new fields opening up. But let's not be naive. At some point, maybe at the end of the century, robots could become dangerous. The tipping point is self-awareness. Fortunately, robots do not know they are robots. In fact, robots don't know anything about awareness, so we have nothing to worry about. But in the future, perhaps we should put a chip in their brain to shut them off if they have murderous thoughts.
For humor.
You think that that's what the chip would do for a robot?
Make them fucking hilarious.
Right. Jokes.
I'm a robot.
Why would you say robot?
They become self-aware. Right now, our most advanced robots have the intelligence of a cockroach. A retarded cockroach. A lobotomized retarded cockroach. Our most advanced robots...
Nobody told Michio we don't use that word.
Yeah, well, he's not calling someone a retard. He's saying a retarded robot. Retarded is a fair...
Retarded's like a socially accepted... That's a medical word.
Yeah, if you're retarded, you've been slowed down.
Has there ever been a retarded cockroach?
Every roach. They don't even know they're eating shit. Yeah, they're retarded.
Wow, that's crazy things that he's saying.
Yeah, I feel like if a scientist says it, then maybe we should make it a little bit more acceptable, no?
Yeah, and I do know who he is. I recognize his voice.
Yeah.
I mean...
Maybe you can call bugs retarded.
Yeah. Get out of here, you retard. What? Talk about praying mantis.
Exactly. I didn't realize, too, when you're talking to Siri or the Amazon, like, hi, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, are you a retarded cockroach? I always thought that they were more smart than, like, retarded insects.
I'm going to use my Echo. I have an Echo. I'm going to use it. Bob Kelly convinced me. I was at Bob's house for dinner.
How did he convince you?
It's just at dinner. Alexa! You know, just fucking pontificating like he likes to do, like the king. And I want to do it. I want to get one.
Stupid.
Well, I have one. I don't care.
Yeah, I did. I would never hook up one of those speakers in my house.
My buddy told me that fucking Instagram will show ads for things that he says into his phone.
I've been hearing that more and more.
Yeah, there's something to do. Here's what happens. Siri. I don't know if it's that they're listening all the time. I think it's more the things you'll say into Siri that you're talking about.
Right.
My buddy Modi, we were talking about hanging pictures, and he goes, yeah, I talk it into this thing, and they showed me an ad for it. I'm like, that happens to you every day. Something I've said into like my phone.
I don't have Siri on, and it happens to me.
You don't have Siri on? Because I was just going to say.
You don't use Siri?
I don't have Siri. I don't use Siri either.
I don't use Siri.
Why? It's much easier. I drive, so driving it helps.
I drive all the time.
Yeah.
I drive.
I don't use my Siri much. I don't use my Siri much.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever use it.
No.
Turn it off.
I don't even think about it.
I only use it like if I'm in a town and I'm like that I don't know where I'm at. I'm hungry. I just say food or desserts.
Just click Yelp.
You just say that out into thin air.
Yeah, desserts near me.
Cake. Who's got cake?
Food near me. That's what I do a lot.
I don't understand that. My phone doesn't necessarily show me those ads. Although on my Google thing, stop showing me fucking Toomey luggage. I looked them up once.
That's Google cookies and stuff like that.
Yay!
No.
Yeah.
Should we take them off?
Yeah, you can get ad blockers.
Why say we? Like you and Travis live together.
I mean, we as a society, as a culture.
If you want to.
Can the culture? Can we remove them for the culture?
Yeah, for the culture. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have Siri on my phone. I don't have any of those speakers in my house. Nothing.
Well, you don't have the speakers. Why? Because you think that's more listening? Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely listening.
Yeah, but do you care? I don't care.
And now Amazon just bought Ring. Why do you think Amazon bought Ring? You know, Ring, the doorbell that with the cameras on it?
Yeah, for $1 billion, right?
You know why?
And it got fucking passed over on Shark Tank. Fuck you.
Yeah. Travis and me were talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
On Shark Tank, the guy goes in, and he's looking for $700,000 for 10%.
Yeah.
Of course, he called it like RoboBell or something like that. It was a terrible name.
Yeah.
Terrible name.
So, you know, the stores are going to be like that. You're going to walk in, and doesn't it seem almost desolate and lonely? Like, when you ever think of the future and future shopping and future stores, it just seems like a desolate, lonely experience. You're going to walk into stores and there will obviously be someone there to help you or a worker, but there will be times where there's only like 1 or 2 workers in the entire store. It's just going to be a desolate and lonely thing. Walking in, taking shit off the shelf, interacting with no one, boop, boop, walking out. It's going to be very bizarre to not have somebody or even a line. You know, eventually we're going to miss lines. Like, fuck. Do you see the new Elon Musk? What's that new subway thing he's conceptualizing? Did you see that? Where it's gonna like there's all these stops. It's gonna be kind of like a
the hyper thing?
Yeah, I don't know if this. Look, can you find that right? It's the new Elon Musk. It's going to drop down and take people. I'm doing a terrible job. I just thought of it. What's that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's for pedestrians over cars in this new boring company video. It's gonna drop you down under and take you and then raise you back up. Fucking forget it. I read the article.
Let's watch the video.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm really a bad explainer. I've always been a bad explainer. I don't know why I do radio. I'm a terrible fucking explainer of things. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
So it's like a car that goes
underground. Yes.
Oh, cool.
And it takes you where you got to go. But there's a lot of it's not like a subway. There's many more stops.
Many more
stops. I didn't plan on talking about this. Is from last week. I just thought of it as we were chatting.
I have to go all the way downtown. I have many more stops.
I know. I'm so worthless. That video stunk. I read the article. The video just kind of showed you how it's going to be.
It's cool. What did he talk about that at South by Southwest?
No, but I did see he had a very funny line.
At South by Southwest?
Yeah.
What was it?
Just when they asked him who inspired him.
And what did he say?
Oh, I don't know if we have the video. It was in Anthony's video package last night.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it.
I was going to play it. Let's give it a little play. It's a very funny line. There it is, right there, Troy. You just passed it. Bottom left.
Bottom left?
Bottom. I meant to say one up from the thing.
It's a row of links.
Yeah, I know it is. Oh, next to the last.
Nervous.
No, I'm all hyped up on coffee already. I slept pretty good last night. Go now.
Kanye West, obviously. Everyone in this room is inspired by you. Who are you inspired by? Well, Kanye West, obviously.
Fucking got like an 8.5. How did Amber Heard fuck that relationship up? Or was it him who left her?
I don't know, but I mean, if you're Elon Musk, you can just have anyone you want.
No, I know that, but I mean, like, if you're did he break up with her?
Oh, I don't know.
I would love to know if she messed that up. Maybe she didn't. She might have been a great girlfriend, or maybe he sucked.
He talked about going to Mars at South by Southwest.
He's saying that he wants to go, or he's sending
they're going to send a ship by the end of next year.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to be that soon. I know we've been talking about that for a while. I thought that was was NASA doing that or no?
No, this is his own company.
No, but wasn't NASA trying to do that, or is he just the one who's pushing that?
Possibly, but he's got more money than NASA has funding.
God, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Isn't that weird to think a guy has more money than NASA? So what's he going to do? Is he going to put someone on the ship or just send an empty fucking vessel?
A spaceship.
Well, he already had things go to Mars.
Yeah, but this is his.
What's he going to do there?
I don't know. I didn't read the article.
Send a guy. They're working on sending people to Mars. What the fuck are we doing? Sending another empty ship to do what? Stupid.
Why is he sending a car up there? You know, like
he just did just to be a silly goose. But I don't mind the fucking car. But Mars, we have a Mars rover. There's already shit there. I'm fucking tired of Mars. What's up with Kevin? There's a new conspiracy for Troy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello.
Yeah, it was online this weekend. The conspiracy theorists are saying that Elon Musk committed the perfect murder because there was an actual person in that spacesuit in the car.
That's funny. Yeah, nobody noticed it loading it. I mean, you know, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I kind of say too. But
I mean, they're probably just goofing around. No one thinks that's
for real. All about it.
Yeah, because chances are you wouldn't put a guy in the suit because what if they're about to launch? Thank you very much. This is what conspiracy theorists fall apart. What if unless it was just a joke? What if it's about to launch and all of a sudden the buckle on his thing breaks? And we go, hold on, we got to redo the buckle. And then someone touches it and goes, wow, this smells like a real guy. Do you know how easy that is to find out that it's a real guy? It's a terrible fucking plan for murder.
Rotting.
Yeah. If it had delayed 2 weeks because of weather, the guy's just going to sit there and rot in a spacesuit. That's a terrible, terrible idea. You know, that car with the little rocket man was a little weird.
Speaking of UFOs and conspiracies and all that.
I did see that video. But I saw a 30-second or 10-second video of it. They said it was for 2 minutes they tracked it. Was it above them or below them over the ocean? They were 25,000 feet.
I'm not sure. The article that I read didn't specify whether they were above or below.
These are military pilots tracking something that was going extraordinarily fast, and they're kind of laughing. And, again, it's always through... It's through radar they're tracking it? Or, it's not natural light, I don't think, is it? Well, I mean, if it is natural light.
I'm not sure.
That actually looks like natural light. Yeah, we're just watching. It's a white dot really moving. I'm guessing it's going over the ocean. But the way they're laughing about it, I'm like, is that really something and they don't know what it is? Or are they just kind of joking because they do know what it is? See what I mean? They're laughing about, like, do they know what it is? And they're just talking shit and being stupid?
They might not be able to say it's a UFO or their idea of a UFO over the speaker or the talking system.
Oh, maybe. But it's a 2-minute video? Because that's a very short video.
Yeah, this is 125 for the...
Well, half of that's the New York Post logo coming up.
I mean, if we learned anything from last night's OJ special, people laugh at the oddest times.
They really do. Oh, boy, do I want to get into that.
So maybe that guy just didn't know what to do but laugh.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she was bleeding. Wow. All right, let's see. Now, Dan in Kansas City, why were you there? Hello.
Hey, Jim. To start off, I saw you when you came to Kansas City. Absolutely loved the show. It was great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So the Amazon Go store, the one where it's Amazon and they have a physical store. It was a big laugh a couple months ago when it opened up because everyone was waiting, 2 hours in line when they have 2-hour delivery. But I was in Seattle a couple weeks ago, and so we were walking around and we went to it, and it was really actually pretty cool. So you just download the Amazon Go app. It's basically got a QR code. You swipe that when you go to the turnstile, and you just pick stuff off the shelf and walk out. So there's no scanning of barcodes, nothing. It's, you would pick something up, look at it. If you put it back and didn't walk out of the store with it, you weren't charged. It was pretty neat. It was pretty damn cool.
Now, there's obviously, how do they stop stealing? There's obviously, I guess it's all barcodes and it just goes off. The alarm goes off?
No, so I don't know. So when you go there, it kind of looks like just like a nondescript, like bodega or something like that. And it looks like there are either Wi-Fi scanners or camera scanners or something in the shelves. Because they kind of look like little GoPros. So there's definitely something watching you take it off the shelf and put it back. But yeah, I was only charged for what I took. It was really neat.
Now, do you need to have an Amazon account to get in there?
You do, yeah. So you have an Amazon account. You download this extra app. Like I said, you swipe it on the way in. You can't even get in if you don't have the app. And then it was 5 minutes later, I got an email saying my Amazon account had been charged. It was really neat.
The genius of that company, man. Thank you, Dan. I can't get over how fucking innovative that company is. Really, really amazing what they're doing. The fact that they just have warehouses with all this stuff in them. Like what an Amazon warehouse has, it's just got everything in it. So when you order Amazon, they're not getting it from other locations, or are they sometimes?
I think sometimes they are.
They are, right? Because there's times when things come in different pieces. They have to get it from somewhere else.
Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of things from Amazon where sometimes it all comes in one box and sometimes it comes in different pieces.
Oh, okay. So the different pieces means they're probably
coming from different
farming it from different places. Okay, so they don't just have everything in the fucking warehouse.
It's still incredible. I ordered something on late Friday night and I had it Sunday morning this past weekend. You just can't believe that it's that fast and that accurate.
What did you order?
I bought a Himalayan salt lamp.
That's good. That's something you needed.
It's supposed to be really good for you. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Someone's got disposable income.
I think Himalayan salt.
I think it was like $25.
Oh, okay. What's it do for you?
Well, supposedly it helps purify the air. It gives off like a nice glow.
Oh, it's one. I'm sorry. It's one of those little things that just kind of sits there.
Yeah, and then it's supposed to purify the air. It's supposed to help with allergies.
How does it purify the air? I have an air purifier.
It says if you look at like the stupid health benefits of it, it's supposed to help with depression. It's supposed to help with all sorts of, I don't know.
Are you depressed?
But Troy's into this stuff. You have what's that other lamp that you have?
I got rid of that
for the winter. But what was it called?
It was called a happy lamp.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lamp, and it comes with a chair with a fist on it. Does it help you at all, this thing, or it's too new to tell?
I just literally hooked it up last night. It's nice, though. Like, when you just have it on, it just really gives, like, a real nice glow, like, peaceful glow.
You know what? I would get something like that. I wanted to get one of those water things that you can hear the trickle of water.
Your windows?
What's that?
Your windows?
No, not my windows. No, but yeah, because they're leaky.
Yeah.
No, they've been fixed. They've been kind of fixed. I still have to get my floors redone because of this dumb flood. It's a whole fucking thing. But I wanted to get one of those things that you have like a little water, but they smell after a while. You have to keep them clean.
Yeah.
And I have an air purifier that you put in a humidifier, but it stinks. Like the filter starts to get bad, or it just smells like old water. So I take it out and I clean it. I just gotta throw the fucking thing out.
Yeah. How old is your filter?
I mean, I change it once in a while, or I wash it. But I'm just too busy.
Oh, yeah.
I just forget I don't want to wash a dirty filter.
Troy did seem a little happier this morning.
Oh yeah, I came with a little pep in my step.
So what do you do? Maybe you have to leave that on all night to be happy.
No, like just when I'm at home watching TV, I'll have it on. I'll dim the lights and just have that on.
I would like that too. I mean, I use candles, not just a candle.
No, I do like candles as well.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Then you realize what a fucking old queen you're becoming when you're walking around with just candles lit. I shower sometimes with just a candle on.
I like that. That's nice.
Well, I do. I like that. I like that fucking. It's just mellow. I just stand under the shower, pretend life is different.
With one candle on?
Sometimes, yeah.
Watching TV, I'll have it on. I'll dim the lights and just have that on.
I would like that too. I mean, I use candles, not just a candle.
No, I do like candles as well.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Then you realize what a fucking old queen you're becoming when you're walking around with just candles lit. I shower sometimes with just a candle on.
I like that. That's nice.
Well, I do. I like that. I like that fucking. It's just mellow. I just stand under the shower, pretend life is different.
With one candle on?
Sometimes, yeah.
Or if you're crazy, you might go for two.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Why?
Never.
You just like the lights on?
Yeah. Or off if it's during the day and I don't need it because there's natural light.
Yeah. Once in a while, I just like it. I like the candles.
But I never think to myself, you know what, I deserve a nice candlelit shower.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a deserved thing. I'm not taking myself away like an old Calgon bath. I just like to stand there in the dark with a little. I like a little bit of light so I don't fucking trip.
No, I like candles when the power's out.
Is that the only reason?
That's the only reason candles come out in my apartment.
I like the smell.
I'm a big candle fan.
Me too. Yeah. I thought I had to stop buying them. I was so obsessed for a while, like a fucking dummy. Instead of children, I have fucking candles I buy, and I buy colognes. I had to stop. Fucking worthless.
I remember a couple years ago, you came in with O&A. You came in with like 30 colognes. I think I took half of them.
I got rid of them.
Yeah,
I'll bring you some more.
That'd be great.
I stopped. I've worn one that gives me compliments. That's it. Just the same one that people like from years ago. The Hermes I wear, that people like it, and that's it. That just is my scent. It works for me.
If it works for you, just roll with it.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
But I get bored of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to smell different stuff on yourself. I bought all these Killian. You hear that brand Killian?
No.
I was walking one time on like Washington Street or whatever it was in the city. I was just randomly walking, and I saw this crazy cologne store. So I stopped in, and oh, fuck, man, there's a place, too, on the way to the cellar. I used to walk past it all the time when I was it was on like 6th Avenue and Greenwich Street. I forget the name. And they have all designer, like high-end colognes. And I just would walk in there and they smell so good. And then I get them home and they smell like shit on me. My body chemistry doesn't work with most of these colognes. Anyway, it was just a thing to waste money on. It was stupid. Oh, no. John in Rochester is not... yes, John.
Hey, brother. What's going on?
Hello.
Yeah, so those Himalayan salt lamps are a bunch of crap. Basically, the science behind them is complete hooey.
Language!
Rock. It's just a rock with a light in it.
Even if it is, it's still. I don't believe in any of that stuff with the. Thank you very much, John. Like, I mean, I want that stuff to be true, but I don't believe in any of that, the healing qualities and shit like that. I've never found anything that made me feel better.
If the only thing I get out of this is like a nice peaceful glow of a lamp,
fine, yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine. Like, I would buy it for that.
Yeah.
I would buy it just to have a nice peaceful vibe. But now I got to get my floors. It's a whole fucking thing. Insurance, in fairness, insurance didn't fuck with me. I have Allstate, and they approved what I needed approved to have my place, fixed.
How long is that going to take?
Well, it's a long process to get it done, and it's a long process. They have to order the wood. They don't stock it, so it's going to be 8 weeks to get it. Oh. And then you have to bring it into your apartment. It has to sit there for probably 2 weeks. It expands and contracts, whatever, so they don't put it in the weather and have it fucking warp. So it just sits in your apartment, and then They have to do it and repaint. It's not going to be done until the middle of the summer. But where the fuck am I going to put my bedroom stuff? It's going to be a whole nightmare. I got to cover everything so dust doesn't get on it. Again, first world problems, but still.
It's just such a pain in the ass that you just don't feel like dealing with.
I don't feel like dealing with it. I did all this renovation before I moved in, and now my entire bedroom and office floors have to be redone. Fuck. And I got to get my rugs paid for. Oh, it's a whole fucking thing. Who cares, Jim? Who cares? No, I've not heard about this, Bill. Hello, Bill.
What's going on, Jim?
Hello.
Well, first off, yes, we do care, sweetie. We care about the struggles you have to go through because we don't want you struggling and producing a bad show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Secondly, this got me riled up over the weekend. Elon Musk is going to be trying to make an electric truck, which I have a problem with. It's going to reduce pollution in the environment, et cetera, et cetera. But the big thing, I guess, is going to be the auto drive system, which, from what I remember correctly, got somebody nearly killed. And my family was raised in hell that soon trucks are going to be fully automated, no driver. And I said, well, what happens when a fully loaded fuel tanker plows in to stop traffic at 80 miles an hour and explodes?
That's happened already. Like, what's going to happen to Bill? Like, I know what you're saying. We look at these, like, automatic cars and, like, the occasional fender benders they're going to have or bad accidents, and it's going to happen. But I guarantee you it's not going to be worse than human error. I mean, look, truckers keep the country going. Let's be honest. I think without trucks, 75% of our industry would just shut down. But, I mean, you guys drive and you got to stay awake. It's just a part of being a human being. So I think that there's going to be more mistakes by humans than there will be technological errors in the long run.
Oh, I definitely agree with you on that. Just I look at it from living out here in liberal shitnik California, where as soon as one of these trucks has something go sour on it and there was nobody in it to catch the error, and now 10, 15, 200 people are dead because a truck plowed into people. All this was for naught. All these people were put out of an industry, and now an industry looks like shit and is going to struggle to survive.
There's a lot of reasons, Bill. I do think it'll be in the long run safer, but it's also because companies want to make more money, and the bottom line is when you're not paying salaries and you're not paying health benefits, and you don't have human resources issue. There's a whole bunch of reasons companies are going to do this. It's going to save them money in the long run. Thanks for the call, buddy. Appreciate it. And I think eventually these things are going to, the new jobs will crop up.
Mark Zuckerberg was just in Congress being like, oh, yeah, we did give away everybody's information.
I don't even mean that. I mean just the idea of being tracked. Like you can be tracked someone, they can ping their phone. Even when it's off, there's, I think, some way to ping it. So they can find out where you are. There's license plate readers.
I throw mine in water every day.
Do you really? I back it up on my computer and I just put it under my pillow so they always think I'm sleeping.
Oh, little Jimmy's in bed again.
But with the whole like little thing chip inside you, there's got to be a way where it's not a permanent thing. And maybe only till you're a certain age, or maybe you have to do something to activate it.
It's opening the gates, man.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. The only difference between that and this is you're carrying it in your pocket instead of having it under you.
At any moment, we can decide to throw the phone out the window, and it's all good. Once it's like implanted, you don't have control over that anymore.
Sure, there's a way to either you can A, turn it off. Or B, there's a way to take it out. You put it in a place where you can take it out. It's not something that's going to be in your inner chest cavity.
They're not going to do it. They're going to hide it in people so people can't steal other people's identity.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to get it out. It's not going to be
Nah, you will, because there's got to be a way where if it comes out, as soon as it disconnects from your biorhythm, it's no good. I mean, they'll figure that out.
They'll put you to sleep, and they'll go like, okay, it's time for the take out the microchip surgery. They'll put you to sleep. They'll just let you sit there. They'll cut you. They'll sew you up, and they'll go, hey, good news, it's out.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that the doctors and the anesthesiologists would have any vested interest in not performing the surgery. That means you have to convince the doctors and the anesthesiologist not to do it, and they have to get money from the insurance company. It's crazy. It wouldn't happen.
It's a hard time understanding your theory on this, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because you're just so anti-backing up to the cloud, but you're okay with being connected to a global...
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you have a kid that can't communicate and who's you watch so many things on things that happen to kids where they get lost or taken.
Put a goddamn leash on them.
I'm saying that you can't always protect somebody from that shit. I just think it's a safety thing that could be for a certain amount of years, or in clothing even if it's something in clothing that can be kind of put into a shoe. They might already have that, but this way.
Well, they do have
take the shoe off.
Yeah, but if they don't, but people won't know exactly where it is.
They'll just make them take all the clothes off.
But they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's true.
Your future's weird.
This is getting on, man.
No, I just watched the special on that kid. Not Katie Beers, the other one. J.C. Dugard. J.C. Dugard, her name was, the one who was kidnapped in front of her stepdad. She was walking to school, and her stepdad saw her get taken by a man and a woman, and he was like a suspect for years.
Well, that's why these dads need to develop a certain set of skills.
Well, that is true.
Just in case,
Well, she never got to call home.
Oh.
But she was 11 or whatever, and then for how many, 18 years she was gone, and she's back now. They found her 18 years later.
No.
But that could have been, her whole life could have been changed.
Yeah, no, look, terrible shit happens, and it will continue to happen. We're not going to get to a place where terrible shit stops happening. Like, it happens.
Of course. But that's why people say don't smoke or don't drink when you're pregnant, because you can cut down on the bad things happening. You're not going to stop them.
Right.
But you can prevent them. You can cut them down.
I've got a kid. No chance in hell would I microchip him.
Okay. I mean, I guess the parents have to make that decision, but I would in a second.
No chance.
But and maybe it's something where the only way there's a way you can activate finding it. Or
I just don't trust anything of like, oh yeah, no, you'd be in total control of it, because it's the same thing Facebook said about you're in total control of your information.
Well, you technically are. You just delete Facebook.
Not.
Sure you are. You delete it. Or you can.
No, but you didn't
have
to delete it because they said you're in control of your information, and this whole thing is about the fact that you weren't at all. Like, you didn't know that because your friend downloaded something on his Facebook, all your information is getting sucked into this other company.
Yeah, the apps are taking the information that was.
But it's not even an app that you downloaded. So like you didn't. It's not like it's a choice you made. You didn't even click the thing that you didn't read that said I accept.
But that's like saying just because there are things that are abusive or fucked up, just because of that you can't advance. That's like saying we shouldn't have prisons just because innocent people are sometimes convicted. Like, you're going to have fucked up things with technology, but what happens? It got caught, and now he's got to go before Congress and explain himself.
But I don't think it's that far, because you need prisons, because while some people are innocent and will go to jail, most people who go to jail are not innocent. When you are microchipping people, sometimes you'll stop a kid from getting kidnapped. Most of the time, you'll just be tracking people.
But the times you stop a kid from getting kidnapped, I imagine with those parents, or if their kids are brought back, I imagine that's worth it. And the people who don't want that don't have to do it. It's not a mandatory thing.
It will be.
No, I don't think so.
I guarantee it will be.
I don't think parental rights will ever be taken like that. Parents can almost do whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, isn't there a thing going on in Canada where if your child says that they need to be the opposite sex, and you don't start transitioning them at an early age, they're considering taking the child from you now?
That I don't know. That's a whole different thing with kids transitioning and being on, whether it's hormones or estrogen or testosterone blockers when they're kids. That's
but
a whole
isn't that
different
crazy
thing.
that they're going to step in and tell you how to parent?
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
what's not saying that it's not going to happen to this. Where
That's
they're
true.
saying this is they move off of like a cashless society and move to strictly to everything is on this microchip, and in order to buy or get anything, you need to have that chip.
I think it is. I think Jim, you're right. I think Troy's right in that could be an eventuality, but I do think that is far off, because I think there are a lot of steps you need to take to get there, because you're right. It's going to take a lot for parents to just give up their parental rights. Like that's now you're starting to move towards like a dictator's in office, right? And it's like we're not close to that yet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say not close to it. I'd say it's not going to happen next year, but it's definitely in the future.
I don't think they're going to make it mandatory. Again, maybe they will someday. I don't know.
But it's also one of those things where they don't need to make it mandatory. They make it cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you make it one of those things where culturally,
Beyonce gets microchipped and is like, "This is so great." And
right?
Everybody's like, "I got to go do this too."
Or like,
but then it's voluntary. They can do it if they want.
Or like Apple makes a commercial where a bunch of silhouettes are dancing, and they're like, "We got microchipped." Do. And if you get microchipped, you get their U2 album for free. And it could be like, "Oh, good news! The new iPhone shows up on your wrist.
Or it'd be like, or
You know
it will
what I
be
mean?
stuff like, hey, your health information.
Right.
Like all of a sudden.
Right.
And you know what's happened? People will live to be 130. And they go, oh, fuck, because I had 2 cancer cells showed up. My fucking microchip, sent it to my doctor. He called me in and they took out the problem. It'll start saving lives.
I think
that's kind of how they'll also get people to do it. It'll start being beneficial.
I think there are a lot of people like you that's, I don't think that it'll be like this dictator that's like everybody has to, and it'll be like, you know, Fahrenheit, whatever, 451 or whatever that book was called. I think it'll be like people like you that are like, you know what? I see the benefits in this. Yeah. I want to live longer. I want it to monitor my health so doctors can see it easily. I want that in me. And I think that it'll just be more and more people like that. The same way...
You can do a lot of that with the Apple Watch now.
Right. I mean, but that's like the same way about the Apple Watch and the phones. You're right, that we're voluntarily have a device on us that can track us.
Sure.
And I think there are a lot of people that will, in my opinion, foolishly allow something like that to be implanted in them and not realize that you really don't have any control over that anymore.
Well, that's what they'll have to figure out, like the iCloud.
And you'll probably live longer.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be less instances of certain crimes. So it's not like you have no benefits.
Because there are people who don't want to use credit cards. They only want to use cash.
Right.
Like, because of it, and then we all use credit cards. You're like, it makes your life easier. And by that, you know, it just, life is better with it.
I mean, it was in all of our lifetime. I remember as a kid, my mom being like, no way are we ever going to shop online because you cannot put your address on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shopping online was a risky thing. And that was like the first hurdle that Amazon had to get over, is like people trusting the internet to go shopping on. And now, you know, you wouldn't think twice about it. People put their address and phone number and social security number in so they can get, you know, a free DVD.
And it can be abused, and your information can get out there.
Right.
Like, that's why I choose not to back up to the cloud. I don't trust it. I don't like it. And it's not even that there's anything so terrible. It annoys me to a certain degree that they can't guarantee you 100% security with it. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact. So I'm careful about it.
iCloud security will be just as secure as you having a chip in your arm.
What's that? It might. And there has to be, but for me, the point I'm making is I can choose not to back up to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I don't have to. So if you have something put in you, or you can put your stuff on the cloud and then fucking delete it. So there's got to be a way with this chip in you.
What's that?
I know. I know. There's a guy on the phone. I'll answer you right now. Tom and Philly, how come we haven't had a what's that yet? Because we're
trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, dude, we have to use the word, and we're going to spiral.
We just can't get anywhere otherwise.
But yeah, there's got to be a way to deactivate your chip. What's that? You must deactivate it. There's got to be a way to do it. And they will figure it out, and there will be a way to monitor it. It will be abused. It'll be... there'll be court cases over it, but like anything else, it won't just automatically make us slaves to the machine. It doesn't work that way. The phone is a voluntary thing.
I just don't think
you leave your phone at home when you want to.
I feel like it will be one of those things where it is introduced and you can deactivate it and do all this stuff, and then we find out that you're not going to go through the surgery because you can just hit a button and deactivate it and it's fine. And then 2 years later, you realize, like, technically it's not deactivated.
Honestly, yeah, and we will eventually all be connected like that. I firmly believe it. Everyone is going to be in the same grid. I don't even know if it's bad. Maybe it is.
I think it's bad. Clearly, we're all going to be tracked at some point. Like, clearly, we're all going to have GPS on us. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, I don't like it. I don't want it. Clearly, it's going to happen.
But once these thought-reading machines, you know, they're talking about these machines that can read your thoughts. They can tell what consonants you're thinking, what verbs by the I guess the little blip in your electrons in your brain or whatever, and they can see words that you have not taught the machine yet. So the machine can make out real thoughts. Once that becomes common, and we're all connected, we're all going to know what the other person is. It's just going to be this crazy connection that everybody has with each other. So it's going to kind of take away all these taboos anyway.
All this stuff. Like, I'm so interested.
People hate Future Jimmy, but I'm right. Me and Bob Kelly, one of our biggest fights. This is back when we both lived at 520 West 43rd Street. Bob was in my building. I was on the 5th floor. He was on the 5th floor. I was on the 22nd floor. That's a long story.
Pertinent.
Yeah. We had a huge argument one day because I said someday people are not going to carry cash.
You didn't interrupt him, did you?
No.
You know he doesn't like it when you interrupt him.
No, he just doesn't. Bob's just a cranky bull. And he's like, no, it's never going to happen. He was saying that we're always going to have the right to have cash. And I'm like, someday cash will cease to exist. Not maybe in our lifetimes. I said maybe in our lifetimes. I was probably wrong.
but someday it will cease to exist. You won't need it anymore. And he's like, no, dude, people are always going to, and you can kind of see how it's going now, where cash is going away. Like
100%.
With your phone, with
Bitcoin.
you know, boop, yeah, all this shit. You will eventually not be carrying cash. It just won't exist because, for whatever reason.
Well, you have your wrist wallet. Let me just scan my wrist over your deal.
Yeah. Whoop. Yeah. So eventually, it's just my timeline is wrong, but it's going to be happening.
Tough to skim the books when that happens. All the cash.
Dude, they'll figure a way out though. Of course they will. People, that's the beauty of it.
They'll have like a severed wrist or something that they scan for half the purchases.
Yeah, or you'll be able to buy like a little fucking hard drive that has extra money on it. I mean, there's going to be a way around the system. Criminals are always brilliant. They're always a step ahead of everybody.
Travis won't be able to do his Burger King scam anymore.
What's his Burger King scam?
You can't do that anyway.
What's that? What you asked for what's that?
Travis just had when he was
theoretically.
He told a joke once about when he, because Travis never worked at Burger King, but had he worked at Burger King,
I thought of this.
He had a great plan that absolutely would have worked and probably would have had him going home with a pocket full of cash every day.
What were you going to do?
If I had worked at Burger King, well, I noticed one day when I went to my particular Burger King,
theoretically, and he brought Charlie with him, his friend.
Yes, Charlie and I went together, and at these old Burger King, I mean, there weren't computers that you were entering things into. You were just, there was a microphone, and the cashier would just call back the order and then enter it into the cash register.
Yep.
And then a receipt would print out. So you could just call anything back, and maybe if you memorized all the prices, you would know exactly how much to ask the customer for.
Right.
But you wouldn't have to ring it up. And you don't, because now you have to ring up an order for it to show up in the back on the computer.
Of course. But back then
you could just call it on the microphone.
So you're going to memorize all the prices?
My theory is that if you were to work there long enough.
Right.
What about a receipt for the customer?
My theory is that most customers don't care about a receipt, but if they did, that person could just ring it up.
Right. Or you could say,
and then cross it off the list that they were maintaining with all the proper prices, so that at the end of the day, when they might take the money out of the till, it was all equal.
You'd always know you were dealing with a criminal when they go, "Do you want a receipt with that?" And you go, "Yes, please." You go, "Fuck."
That would never, no, yeah. I mean, Charlie would never ask if they wanted a receipt.
No, Charlie wouldn't.
No. And I noticed that this isn't something that you could do like inside the store. It's something that have to be done on drive-thru.
Of course. Well, when that's where Charlie would work.
And I mean, you could do it by yourself, but it would be much easier to get a group of people to.
And you could always do something like say, "Hey, look, I hope you don't mind the register is a little, our machine is broken. Do you mind not getting a receipt?"
Nope.
What?
No, you just wouldn't do that.
Don't complicate it, you mean?
Yeah.
Charlie wouldn't complicate it.
Yeah, because the receipt would be taped to the bag. So
right.
Nobody notices anyway.
Good. Well,
but I never worked at Burger King, so I never got to do that.
But your buddy did.
You weren't qualified. All right.
My buddy did, and I mean, you can probably make hundreds of dollars a day.
Now, which one?
Spend it on drugs.
Kyle, I want to ask Kyle which episode he's talking about.
All this stuff, all of these conversations we have is why I love this Black Mirror show
such
so
a good
much.
Show.
I get upset probably every 2 weeks when I realize that there's no more Black Mirror for me to watch.
I know. It's
such a fun thing to watch.
Yes,
I think I'm going to watch it again.
Kyle in Alabama. Hello, Kyle.
Kyle.
Action.
That was great.
No,
You're talking about Black Mirror.
Yeah, sorry, I got.
Okay. Happens to the best of us.
The mom does it to her daughter, and then
that's a great episode.
It's great when she's a kid, and like what you're talking about, Jim, about potentially being kidnapped, or I think she was, or something. She got a scare, and that's why she did it.
She got lost or something.
But then she gets, it gets older to where she's a teenager, and then she's kind of tracking her when she realizes she still has it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's a good kind of.
Yes,
it shows because the positive and the negative of it,
and she can see everything the daughter can see. She can see what the daughter can see. Like she can see through the daughter's eyes because that's how the technology works. It's really brilliant.
They have it's like when she's a kid, they install this thing in her eyeball that attaches to a tablet. So on the tablet, you can see everything the kid sees, and you can find out where they are. That way. Like Jim said, if the kid gets kidnapped, whatever.
And you can block out distressful things for them to see, violent imagery, so the kid will look and only see like a shaded image or whatever. They won't see the violent imagery. It's a great statement on parenting and on how people are raised.
But what happens...
Thanks, Kyle.
What happens is and this would be what would happen in real life, is that they take it off, they take all the settings off because they realize that the kid can't be censored to violence and all this stuff. It's not like she's not healthy at this point. She's too sheltered. But she gets older, she becomes a teenager, the mom starts to worry about where she's going, what she's doing. The mom has the thing turned back on without the teenager knowing. And then the mom starts getting super paranoid and basically watching her everywhere she goes. And then, I don't want to spoil the ending. But.
Well, the problem with that was, and this was, I think, one thing they put in the episode, was that the technology was like an experimental technology and it couldn't be taken out once it was put in, I think.
Right, because it was like by the brain or whatever.
Something like that. So that's what they would have to work around.
Yeah.
Not being able to take it out or putting it in a place where it couldn't be accessed at all quickly.
Hopefully they watch some of these Black Mirror episodes and they go, okay, what were the flaws here? Let's work around those.
You know what? They do.
I mean, they're so great.
So many of these things like science fiction, and then all of a sudden you see a few years later that they're actually doing shit they talked about in science fiction.
Yeah.
Sci-fi.
Is that what you said?
To make it faster, yeah.
What's your favorite Black Mirror?
Probably the one with Bryce. Is her name Bryce Howard?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard is very good with the phones
likes.
and the rating system and the likes.
That's
again,
just a great commentary.
A brilliant statement about who we are, and also
and accurate.
Yes, and the one about when the bees are. It's a crime, and the bees are stinging people, and they're all robotic.
I forgot about that.
That to me might be the best one, and the twist in that. But how crime is committed later. And what I love so much about this is Black Mirror, there's no ghosts in it. There's nothing supernatural. It's all 100% believable. Like,
yes,
in the future, this could happen.
It's technology based.
I didn't like the one about, I like the concept, but it got a little bit preachy, but the one about the guy in the electric chair. In the museum.
Yep.
That was a little weird.
I like that one.
I didn't hate it, but it was
you know
a
why I
little
like
weird.
that one? Because it was like 3 different stories, and I liked all the different stories.
But I think the one with the bees, the nation, something about the nation. Scorn of the Nation, I think it was called.
I really love. I love a lot of them. I love this one with the guy from Get Out in it.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah, I love that one. That's an earlier episode.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that was him.
I think my one that I really enjoyed the most and had the most like whoa at the end was the one with John Hamm in it.
What was that?
That was the one where they were in the shed telling the story for like, it was like an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I forgot that was John Hamm.
That was John Hamm.
That was amazing.
Brilliant. And then one that I don't think about enough, but when...
Do you mean the mind, the shrunken figure? Like, this is a copy of you? Mm-hmm. The Star Trek one did something similar.
Star Trek was awesome.
That was
Loved
great.
the Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
And the episode that when Miz was in here, it was his favorite, and I was like, that's actually a great one, is the one where the kid gets caught on his webcam.
Yep.
And the twist at the end of that is like, oh my
Amazing.
God. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah, but if you guys haven't seen Black Mirror, I didn't steer you wrong with that Rajneeshi documentary. Black Mirror is just a great series.
It's a really smart show.
There's a couple of episodes that are take it or leave it. Honestly, the first episode is a take it or leave it episode.
People say that. I've only seen it once. I'm going to go back and watch it. The pig fucking episode.
It's a weird one because it doesn't represent the show that well. But it's not nearly as brilliant. I don't mind the episode. It's just not nearly as brilliant as the other ones. And honestly, even though it was accurate because the robot dogs look like real robot dogs that we see on the news, I didn't like that heavy metal episode at all.
Oh, I love that one.
I got so bored by it.
Did you? I liked it because it was chilling, and I liked that the robots were simple looking and
I like that.
And it's like there's a way around it, like by letting it go to sleep.
Yeah,
and you realize something just that big that doesn't get tired. That's what it literally, that could be crime fighting at one point.
I guess because I kind of got the concept, and then it was just like it was just a singular concept episode, right?
Watching this person try to get away,
right,
and then all of a sudden, after that thing fucking shot with those pellets, and then you see the overview.
Yeah,
I mean, just great.
It was great, but I like all the twists and turns.
Let's see here. Other people wanted to comment. Steve in New York. Yes, Steve.
Hey, how's it going? This relates back to what the episode Sam was just talking about with the privacy on the internet, being watched.
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear what Putin said the other day about Trump's bombing? He said that they were going to respond with a precise attack, and they're such shit stirrers. I bet you that they're going to attack us in a way that's going to fuck us up socially. maybe even expose all of our creeping internet habits. Like me, I'm a pretty private guy or whatever, but I'll look at like my share of porn. I'll look at, creep on girls, whatever. And imagine that goes out to all my friend lists and my work, colleagues and whatnot. Like that socially, I think that'll get me involved in us trying to like stop the, Russia.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting if Russia's way to hit us back is doing something like that, like not blowing us up, but watching, like just injecting things into the society that'll make us destroy it ourselves. It's possible. It's easy.
It is, yeah. It is.
And you want to like optimistically think that if all like Steve's private stuff, which would mean all just the average person, if all of our private history became public, you would want to optimistically think that we would then realize that we all have our stuff and it doesn't matter.
No way.
Wouldn't.
We'd start picking through each other's shit.
Oh, yeah. Who's worse than who?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It would be like Ashley Madison times 20.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because it would be people who didn't join a site, just your private. It would be embarrassing. That's the most it would be. Your private internet browsing history. Thanks a lot for the call. You'd be like, oh, fuck. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, but like for people in high spots, it would make them it would cause a certain chaos because people would lose confidence. People over here, over there, like it would be a little bit of chaos, I think. But yeah, for the average person, it would just be like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't want people to know that.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, shoot. Because there are some people, and it's all sexual stuff. I mean, unless you're looking to, go out and commit murders, it's just people looking at porn. I mean, that's the most.
Yeah. Most people would be embarrassed because people would find out, like, oh, now they know I look at stepdaughter porn.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want them to know that. Except then there'd be the one guy in the office next door that's like, no, he's like, child pornogaphy. This is terrible. And you're like, oh, okay.
People would be very... My biggest embarrassment would be people seeing I go back to the same things over and over again. This guy's a fucking one-trick jerk-off.
Yeah. Just spends hours edging, and there's only 3 videos.
Oh, my God. 3 fucking shitty links. Let's see here. How about... Sorry.
It's okay. It's a lot of choices.
Yeah, I thought there was one I wanted to go to, and...
I mean, you got to...
Justin in Maine. Hey, what's up, Justin?
Hey, what's going on, guy?
Yes.
So, talk about chipping. I'm 100% for it. I mean, if somebody can chip their dog for when the dog gets loose and you can find it, why can't I chip my daughter?
I don't even want to...
She can throw...
Well, first, there's a difference between people and animals, and I don't even want to chip the dog.
Why? Because he'd probably laugh, right?
Bye, Becca.
My dog hates chippers.
Thanks, Justin. Justin raised a good point, though, right? They do it with the dogs.
People have done it with dogs because they don't want their dogs to get lost. But I just...
But what if all of a sudden the chip in the dog can somehow be tapped into and an audio can
100%.
Be sucked through it?
100%.
And now your dog is running around and people can listen to you. But by the way,
100%. I'm with you. I don't even have an Alexa in my house.
All this, I have one. I never opened it. But
Your
all
phone
this,
and TV are doing it too.
All this stuff about privacy.
You're right about that.
And our obsession with not giving in. You do know that once in a few years, when they can build drones smaller and smaller and smaller,
they just put it in your chimney.
You won't have to, or you could just. You don't think there's going to be drones the size of an ant or a fly that you can control and have come inside of somebody's window and just land on their wall?
Ew.
So that's not crazy.
You can actually be. It's our new fly on the wall drone.
The fly on the wall.
It's the fly on the wall.
How will they sell it, though? They won't sell it like you can spy on your neighbors. How will they sell it? Like, what will the fly on the wall commercial be? Where they want to make it look like it's okay, like you said with Beyonce. Hey, I'm getting a...
right, like it's this thing like, oh, I guess you could spy on people, but that's not what this is about.
It's almost...
Oh, you could... I know exactly how. You can look under your oven behind your refrigerator.
That's it.
Those hard-to-reach places where you don't know if something fell.
Fly on the wall, or make sure your kids aren't doing anything bad.
Or no. It'll be no surveillance. It'll be like, make sure there's no holes in your chimney. You know what I mean? Go up into the attic and check for raccoons or whatever, or get behind the fridge. Find out why the fridge isn't working.
There you go. Fly on the wall.
Yeah. Be a fly on the wall. If anyone even call it fly on the wall.
Maybe
that'll
not.
be the code name because everybody knows what fly on the wall is.
But they'll still have to...
But I don't think...
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it won't be a surveillance mention at all.
It'll just be a home goods product. They'll sell it in Home Depot.
And it won't look like an insect at first?
No. No. And then they'll make a kid's version that looks like an insect because now we've realized it's fun. Right? And the kids can play with it, too.
Yeah, they'll have to figure out a couple of angles.
I'd get one of those fly-on-the-wall cameras, fly it right into Nico's house.
But they will eventually make
what's going on there.
They will eventually make it a surveillance thing, though, where you can check your kids at school. Make sure your kid's on their way home. They will eventually use it to track.
That's true. I mean, yeah, parents do stuff. My mom always tried to be like the classroom mom, like the helper-outer. And she told us later it's because she wanted to make sure there weren't any... handsy teachers or anything
That's
like that.
fair.
She just wanted to make sure she knew what was going on.
Imagine having your mother in today's society.
Oh my God.
Would you be able to deal with it?
My mom was terrified of like OJ being out there. I can't imagine if she had to deal with having kids with everything going on. I mean, she walked around the house that whole year and a half, just going, that man is guilty as sin.
Did she say man or did she use another word?
I don't know what the private conversations were between she and my dad. My dad going, you got to relax. You got to relax with that stuff.
This is a good question. Mike in Canada for Sam.
Yeah, hey, Sam, I think if you took your little guy to a wrestling event at Madison Square Garden and somehow he got separated from you for, say, half an hour or an hour, I think you would change your mind instantly about that tracking device, because when you get that fucking feeling in the pit of your stomach that your kid might be lost and all those scenarios start going through your fucking head, I think you will instantly change your fucking point of view. And Jim, I'd just like to throw two fucking names that would make anybody change their mind. It's Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, of course I do. Yeah, you're a Canadian. It's good that you referenced them. Murdered by Paul and Carla Bernardo up in Scarborough. Thank you very much for the call, Mike.
I mean, that may be right. It's a really weird nature thing that I never ever would have expected. Like, we'll bring...
Talk about it.
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
I think if it was a wrestling event, though, you'd probably be like, finally, I can watch these matches.
Exactly.
Exactly. He'll come back when he's ready.
Yeah, hopefully he'll bring me some merch.
Yeah, where's the little Hulkamaniac?
Where's my chicken tenders?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
what's the nature thing?
I wanted to get hot dog chipped when he was gone for like 45 minutes to get me chicken fingers. I don't want to lose my little hot dog. Like, we bring him to the mall. And like, just because now he like walks around, he runs around and stuff, and so that's a great place to run around. But like, you don't even
runs around the mall. What a bad boy!
That's right. You don't even realize it's gonna happen or you're gonna feel that way. It's almost like when you realize you're afraid of heights once you're up high. Like, it wasn't a thought, and then you look down and it's just this natural thing. Like, I put him on the ground to run, and the minute I don't have my hand on him or he's not right next to me, there's this like kind of panic. You know what I mean? He's literally right next to me. But the fact that I'm not holding him, I'm like, oh my God, like he's in the world now. Like, nobody get around him, nobody touch him, like, because you just now, the unpredictability of the world is there. And so, you know, I can't argue that if he got lost at some point, I wouldn't want to, you know, panic and do that.
Or if he's on his way home from school. And or you go to pick him up from school and you can't find him,
dude,
because he went home with a friend and you don't like.
Right. I was holding him, and we were waiting for an elevator, and elevators in the mall just take forever because lazy fat people use them instead of people who actually need them. Yeah. I don't like escalators.
I have to go to Hot Topic.
So I was like, Jess, why don't I just hold him and we'll just go down the escalator? She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, who's afraid of an escalator? And I'm holding him, no problem. I took one step onto the escalator, and I had to back up because all of a sudden just panic went through my entire body, and I could not get on the escalator holding him.
What's the matter with you?
Why? Because it was up high. What if I drop him? What if we're going down now? And we couldn't do it. I could not do it. I'm like, we have to go back to the elevator.
And you think you wouldn't? You don't think that's healthy, Travis?
No.
What's
No,
fucking Sammy Escafrade?
I can do it alone.
That's a big boy.
I can ride the escalator all by myself.
Yeah, there he goes.
Thank you.
There he goes.
Thank you.
You couldn't put him on it? Just have him walk on it?
Exactly.
No,
just drop him on a top step.
Yeah.
Tell him to go.
Why can't you pick him up and then as soon as it starts moving, you put him on the step?
Because, I mean, he's too little. You can't put a 1-year-old on an escalator and just let him stand there.
Yeah, you can't tell him you'll meet him downstairs.
Yeah, but you can't even do stairs.
Just carry him.
What I'm saying is just hold him.
I'm trying.
And put him down as soon as you get on the escalator.
No, because he moves around.
Can't hold his hand?
No, you can't. You can't leave a 1-year-old on the stairs.
I mean, how long you're on it for 20 seconds?
Let alone moving stairs. 20 seconds. What could possibly go wrong in 20 seconds?
Holding his hand. I mean, what could he possibly be doing? Like trying to run in other directions?
Have you ever seen a toddler on an escalator?
Hold on a second.
Think about it. Give it some real thought.
Yes, I have.
When?
I was at a toddler mall, and there were only toddlers doing security,
Wow.
and there were only toddlers working there.
Was that a toddler mall or a little people community?
Fuck.
Now that
you know what, Brad Williams, you're right.
Brad Williams. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I can't tell you. I'll tell you how I feel at this moment.
What did your wife say when you said we have to go back to the elevator?
She said I knew that was going to happen to you.
That you couldn't hold them on the. I mean, I don't like holding people's kids.
Like, that's why I hesitated. She was like, I knew you weren't going to be able to do that.
She probably thinks so little of you.
That's not true.
You do get scared of dropping someone's baby,
right? Oh, yeah. Imagine
your own, though.
Yeah, it's worse if you've
been holding him for a year.
Your kid played in feces, if I remember the story right.
No. That was the exact opposite of what happened.
You let your child play undie flip.
No, but I mean, if she wanted to learn, I'd teach her. And you're going to learn from a veteran.
She's 8. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. I'll hold him. I throw him up in the air. All kinds of crazy.
That's irresponsible.
Shit. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. But not on that escalator. I could not do it, and I had no idea.
You just hold him and then hold the handrail. You're not going to drop him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
I know how to hold a baby.
Yeah.
But here's my favorite babies because their fucking heads are like, wah! Like I don't want to break
a newborn.
No, but I mean that's where I get scared when a newborn.
Yeah.
Like I held your baby, I held Max. I'm always afraid I'm going to hold him wrong and his little head's going to go back. But once the head is fine,
head's fine.
Ah, please, I'll grab him by the feet and drag him through the mall. Let's go. Remember there was how long was there no advancement in phone technology? Well, we had phones.
Until Steve Jobs.
And then all of a sudden, it went from here to 1,000. That's how it's going to be, or with computer memory. You see that photo of 5 megabytes going into a fucking plane, and now you're carrying around gigabytes in your... That's how it's going to be. The jump in technology is just, it's a leap. So eventually when they can get like those little microcomputers into you, they'll absolutely know whatever happens with a person when you lie, the way the blood moves out of your brain or whatever the fuck happens, and they'll know 100% if you're lying.
Did we just go from our polygraphs admissible in court to future Jimmy in 5 seconds?
I'm right.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Most of my future stuff is correct.
But you also you paint broad strokes sometimes.
You have
so
to,
it's very difficult to be wrong.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that they will eventually be able to prove 100% of your lying. It's not a crazy thing to say.
No, it's just a scary thing. Because it's not like it's going to be it's going to be everyone. It's not like they're going to. I wouldn't. It's not like it's just going to be, courts using the technology if it exists. It's going to be people know if you're lying or not everywhere.
Let's see here. Brian in Georgia. Why did you do a polygraph yesterday, Brian? Comment?
Did you?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
So I have to take polygraphs routinely for work about every 3 to 5 years. So,
what do you do?
I work for the Department of Defense.
Oh,
and what do you have to do? Like if you are giving out information or if anyone's approached you, all that stuff?
Yeah, just foreign contacts, things like that.
You ever sneak out secret data on a little SD card inside of a Rubik's Cube?
No, unfortunately not at this point. Maybe in the future, though. We'll see.
Maybe.
So is it nerve-wracking, or do you know are you ever afraid, like, because a lie detector test would scare me simply because, like, what if my body reacts weird and it says I'm lying? I guess that would be inconclusive. But what if you're telling the truth and it says you're lying?
Yeah, so, without going into specifics of the question, so the process is pretty reliable. You know what the question is prior to them asking it to you, so it's not like they surprise you with a question and you get caught off guard. So they're able to measure your response to truthful things, something like, are the lights on in this room? You answer yes or no, and they can tell you to answer it honestly or dishonestly, and then they sort of gauge your physical reaction to that. It's still subjective because there's a guy that grades your scores essentially. So, he's looking at your reactions and he determines based on his training if you're telling the truth or not. So that's why.
Yeah, because it's all those waves on the chart, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's finger pads, so it measures your sweat level, your respiratory level, your heart rate, blood pressure, all that stuff. During the thing, is it nerve-wracking? Even though I've done these several times and I know what they're going to ask and I don't do any of those things, so I have no reason to lie about it. It's still a little bit nerve-wracking, so you feel like, I think I fucked that up.
Yeah.
But the results still come back that I was being truthful, which I was. So I have to believe it's relatively accurate. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some insight on that.
Thanks, Brian.
If you tie a rubber band around like your testicles and just start snapping them,
You're going to come during the test.
Oh, is that what happens? I feel like they won't be able to tell if you're lying because you'll be too busy worrying about how much your testicles hurt.
Thumbtack in your shoe.
That's what they say.
Because in every answer, you just step on it?
Yeah, because then you're just thinking about the thumbtack. Your goddamn toe hurts.
So every answer is the same, though. But they may read that if every answer is the same, unless you... Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
When you're telling the truth,
right?
The light's on, you step on it. You're wearing a blue sweater, you step on it because those are true. And then when it's not, you don't step on it. So you give yourself a little pain during the truth. So this way, if you're lying, you step on it, it will read the same as the truth because you'll be reading the pain thing. I'm guessing that's how it works.
So if you're lying, you don't step on the thumbtack?
Right.
Why?
Say that, okay.
Because then those questions you would still have, like, when you looked at the chart, wouldn't there be a difference?
No. Let's just say every time you're telling the truth, you step on the tack.
Yeah.
And it gives you a reaction. When you're lying and you want them to think you're telling the truth, you step on it too.
Right. Right, you step on it every time.
Wait, what am I saying?
You want every answer to be true, so you step on the tack every time.
But they also tell you to lie. So when they say, okay,
they
lie,
do?
he just said they tell you to give a dishonest answer.
Oh, then you don't step on the
That's
tack.
what I'm saying, yeah.
Yes.
Because then they want to judge your reaction. Because there's nothing to judge it against. They'll have no way of knowing.
True.
So they'll say, hey, are you wearing 2 shirts? And you'd say, yes, that's the truth.
Right.
Is Rob wearing a dress? You'd say,
yes.
Well, no, that's I wish. It's not really.
Oh, I see. So it's not what's going on in your mind's eye.
So the truth would be no. So when you're lying,
and then they're like,
step on
did
the
you
tack.
steal information? And then you step on the tack and you go, ouch, no.
Yeah, ow, tack on my shoe. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, tack on my shoe. Ow.
Yeah, subject said ouch before every answer.
Mike is saying, what's it depend on, Mike?
It's always dependent upon the human who's being tested, so it'll never be more accurate. Because just like what you're saying about step on the thumbtack when you're telling a truthful answer to give a false reading, there are people out there who, on the flip side, can remain calm while they are lying.
Sociopaths.
Yeah, or even not even sociopaths, just people who have the ability to say, okay, I know what this is, I know what it's about, and I'm cool. I just know that as long as I can stay relaxed, it's not an issue.
That's right. The Fonz would do well.
Hey!
It's confidence, but that's also why a guy like Steve Wynn would probably throw the thing off anyway, because he's a guy who's so confident in what he does every day. It probably there's no distinction for him between bullshitting and telling the truth.
And the delusion too. Like if you're delusional about something and you don't realize that you're lying, you probably won't have the reaction that a liar would have.
Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it, Mike.
Our extreme political beliefs or social beliefs or whatever as a kid and go like, oh, what a little douchebag I was.
And maybe it will go that way. Maybe all the young people take over. Maybe it will.
I don't think we'll get to a place where we're genderless and fluid and all like that's. I don't think we'll get to that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, dude.
Do you know what? As we start, eventually somewhere down the road.
Maybe, let's not start getting into future Jimmy.
Well, we
stuff.
don't need, but future Jimmy is actually smarter than a lot of people think. Eventually, when you start not needing each other to procreate, when you can start cloning, the gender won't be as important.
Yeah.
Because literally you'll be able to. They're already cloning. Was it mice and all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Once the procreation angle is not nearly as important, and it can be done on a computer.
We're not. Oh God damn
I'm telling you.
I understand, but we're not talking about that.
The idea of gender is going to be less important.
But we're talking about this generation just growing up, not like in the future.
But you're saying eventually we're not going to be genderless. Eventually we're going to be.
I'm not talking about eventually like in 1,000 years. You go from the next 30 years to singularity in one sentence every time. That's what happens with future Jimmy goes straight to singularity every single time.
But you don't think that we are moving to, because one of you guys said, oh, there's eventually going to be no gender. And it's not crazy because eventually in one generation we already see them talking about gender fluidity. Go 2 generations after that. Every generation gets way more radical than the last one. That's not crazy to think.
No.
It's not crazy.
No, I don't think we're just going to evolve to not have penises.
No. I'm not saying that. But the idea of it,
well, mine too.
The idea of it won't matter. Like nobody will. Like it'll be weird to identify as one or the other. We're all just going to be.
I think we're very, very, very far away from that.
I think we're closer than you think.
Yeah.
No, I'm with Sam.
I'm
with
Jim. Because that's one of the. I mean,
it's not crazy.
Every generation, young people will have extreme political ideals, and I mean, if you said in the '60s, if you agree with that, then in the '60s. We were on the precipice of world peace.
In the 60s, blacks couldn't vote. And now all of a sudden we had a black president. We've had a fucking black, what I call a chairman of the Joint Chiefs, black, whatever. What did Condoleezza Rice do? She went for Bush. I wish I should know that.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. But I'm saying in a few generations or a couple generations.
I don't think everybody kind of knew the social rights, the struggle for civil rights and a genderless society.
I'm not saying we're going to be genderless soon. I'm saying eventually, whenever I think of aliens, whenever you see like pictures of aliens and they're just this fucking genderless thing, to me that's not a crazy thing to think that's where we wind up. Of course we're going to have genitals.
Yes.
But we're not going to see each other as that.
Who knows if we will?
I'm
not pretty sure we'll have
genitals. Just to think that now you can make like designer babies. Like the idea that 20 years ago was absolutely insane, but now that's a reality and that's here.
And the whole argument over should we clone, should we not clone, will kind of eventually once that's solved, once the moral dilemma of do we clone people, and you're right, you will start cloning, you said designer people.
I don't think come for the penises. I'm out of here.
If they come with the penises, you're showing up early. I'm not saying we're not going to be born with genders. I'm saying the idea of the way we look at gender is eventually going to, and I'm not saying it's right. It's just the way it's going. Eric in Wisconsin. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I just wanted to confront Troy, I guess, a bit. Does he realize that the sex organs and gender are developed at different times in utero? So with his stance on you are either born with a dick or you're not, that does not determine gender. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. So gender identity is formed in the womb before actual genitals are formed.
That's what the studies are saying.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that I guess,
But there's also a thing when they're saying gender and sex, we all understand that if most times if you're a guy or we also know that gender gender is kind of what you have between your legs. At least that's how we have always seen it.
That's just, again, that's sex organs versus gender. And I know a lot of people can't differentiate between the two. And really, I'm going through I'm raising a child that is coping with some of these things right now, and it's not about my daughter's ability to be gender fluid. It's how comfortable they are in their skin and who they want to be as a person. So it's really, to me, it has nothing to do with what's between their legs or what bathroom they decide to use.
To me, thanks, Eric. Appreciate the call. If you're one of those people, I don't see the big deal of it either way. Like, I don't care what the final decision is on it. Like, what they say, they'll eventually know exactly what it is. This is exactly what causes it. It's a complete mental illness. Or no, there are actual physical traits that make you feel this way. They're not whatever the fucking decision is in the end, I don't give a fuck.
I think in every movement or whatever, in every youth movement, there's the logical thing of where something progresses, and then there's the absolute extreme.
Yeah.
And the absolute extreme is this idea of gender fluidity where we accept the idea that everybody changes their gender every day, which is not...
That's silly.
That's not where we're going.
No.
I think the idea that we'll accept trans as a reality is where we're going. And I'm with you. I really don't have an issue with that. And, I mean, sociology has been teaching for decades that gender and sex are separate.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's not like the idea that gender is one thing and sex is another thing, that sex is biological and gender is social, is not like a new thing.
Like when you see a roach or whatever, you know that there are male and female, you understand that. But when you see an insect, do you think of its gender? Or does it have a dick or a it's a praying mantis. That's it. We can break down if it's male or female. That's to be how we're going to be. Yeah, we'll know who has tits and a dick and a pussy and whatever. We'll know all this stuff. It's amazing I put those two in order.
Dick and a tit.
But we'll understand that, but it won't mean anything eventually, and then you'll be criticized for questioning it, or you'll be penalized for questioning it.
So does that mean...
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that that's where we're going. Anything you question now, people are starting slowly.
So does that mean
to
if
go,
you...
whoa, what do you mean? You don't like? You're like, no, I don't know.
If you start dating a girl, right? You think it's a girl with a vagina, but then you find out it's a girl with a penis. You're not going to be allowed to say, like, what the fuck? I don't like
and that's wrong, too. Like, they say, like, if you're dating a girl and you don't know she's got a dick, and then you don't like that, all of a sudden you're transphobic. No, you're not. You're not transphobic because you don't want to date somebody with a dick.
I like vaginas.
Me too.
Yeah, it's fair. I enjoy them. I enjoy a good vagina. Been a while, but
sometimes you'll kick it back old school.
But you know what I mean? It's like that's where trans people to me are way off. Like you can't say that because someone doesn't want to date you if you're trans that they're transphobic. No, they're not.
Right.
What, you're allowed to have a preference, but they can't?
People are allowed not to want to suck dicks.
Yes,
they're allowed to. And by the way, Jim, people are allowed to want to suck dicks too.
Yes, they are. Whoever they are.
Whoever they are.
But yeah, you're allowed to not like something. Like you're allowed to not want to date black women or Asian women. You're allowed to only want to.
I think that yeah, totally.
So that doesn't mean you're a
or
fucking
to just
bigot.
want to date Asian women or black women. When let's say a friend of mine has a terrible weakness for Asian women, that doesn't mean that he's racist or feels racial against anybody. How'd you know who I was talking about?
Because his head just dipped down in shame and in recognition.
I don't think recognition.
I never understood that. I've never had a preference for only one race. Asian girls are your thing, huh?
I like Asian and Hispanic women. I've tend to figure that at my age that is what I like. I prefer.
Yeah,
that's at the moment.
I mean, I've dated every race of women.
Look at you, the Rainbow Coalition of vaginas. I almost said of dicks.
Yeah, you did. All right, let's break. I want to eat something. I'm starving, and
I got something you can eat.
I said I'm starving. That's not going to whet my appetite.
It's not. It's an appetizer.